Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today we're gonna have a little fun here. Mehdi Hasan versus Professor Jiang. He puts the professor name in quotes. It's fucked up, man. But I'm here for it. But first, don't forget to share support. Hopefully, donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We're in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome, and obviously, everything I show you will be linked in that same description box, including the news about this whole little 10-point proposal from Iran that Trump announced he accepted, but let's be real. Let's be realistic. There's no fucking way they're accepting that. In fact, even if you break those policies down, I'll get to it. Here's Caroline Levitt. Caroline Levitt. Someone made fun of me for saying Iran. I don't think I care.
That's sweet Caroline, bro.
Ba ba ba. Look at you say words wrong. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Away from my fucking throne, bro. Go back to your kitty table over there. Stay away from the fucking throne. Anyways, here's Caroline Levitt.
The Iranians originally put forward a 10-point plan that was fundamentally unserious, unacceptable, and completely discarded. It was literally thrown in the garbage by President Trump and his negotiating team. Many outlets in this room have falsely reported on that plan as being acceptable to the United States, and that is false. With the president's deadline fast approaching and the United States military completely decimating Iran with each passing hour, the regime acknowledged reality to the negotiating team. They put forward a more reasonable and entirely different and condensed plan to the president and his team. President Trump and the team determined the new modified plan was a workable basis on which to negotiate and to align it with our own 15-point proposal. The president's red lines, namely the end of Iranian enrichment in Iran, have not changed. And the idea that President Trump would ever accept an Iranian wish list as a deal is completely absurd. The president will only make a deal that serves in the best interests of the United States of America. Right? And he as a negotiating team will focus on this effort over the next 2 weeks.
Okay, what did Rubio say?
Didn't he say that they can? Didn't Rubio say when what was it? It was like a week ago or so. Like after that thing that sounded like the State of the Union. Is this Trump's State of the Union?
Yeah.
He was talking about that. But then Rubio spoke in a much more like professional way, right? I thought he was like is he like rehearsing for president? You know, that type of thing. And
yeah.
But he was so, like direct, like on point with messaging. But he said something about Iran. Like he was like, "Oh, we just want them to not have a nuclear weapon. It's not about like." I think he was saying it's not about them not having like he was saying something to the point like they could have nuclear energy. It's just not. Now weapons, something like that. I remember.
Now that is something that Rubio said in the beginnings of this Trump term, where he said, "Yeah, they can have nuclear energy, but what he means by that is they can't enrich themselves. Iran themselves cannot enrich their own uranium. They want to ship it in there, which will cause all types of problems. Honestly, like." Iran's already sus to these guys. Like, yeah, you're gonna like sneak some shit in here. You're gonna take pictures of our intelligence, whatever the fuck you're gonna do, right? You're gonna sneak in and do some bullshit.
Yeah.
So they were like, no, they're like redlining. No, we're not allowing that. But that's what probably Rubio was talking about, of other countries bringing enrichment into their country.
I know that the U.S. wants to sell them the uranium instead of them making it.
Yeah.
But the way that he said it, like about a week ago, made me think like it made me think that he had a different red line than Trump did. But
no, I think it's the same thing, different language. Same thing, different language.
It could be. Yeah, but it just sounded very different. It might have just been the words he picked.
Well, you know what we've been hearing lately is little reports saying like, oh well, JD Vance is behind closed doors, he's questioning Trump's thing, or he has pushback for Trump. Or Marco Rubio has some pushback for Trump. They put like little reports out there because guess what? These guys are probably running in the next election, right? So They want to get some
Yeah,
cookies out of this, That's my guess. So
I definitely see that they'd be interested in that. Um,
yeah,
I mean, well, there's no more terms for Trump, so they're they're in a good position to like at least run.
yeah,
That's-
definitely angling. But
I mean, I don't doubt that they're all in agreement behind the scenes. It was just his messaging seemed it was much more polished than what Trump does. Like,
yeah,
you-
dude,
and
Rubio sounds like what the Democratic Party would be saying if they were running this whole
Yes.
little operation. Like, oh no, they
Mhm.
can have nuclear power. We didn't say they couldn't have that. Like, meanwhile, it's about Iran independently enriching their own uranium for their own power sources instead of it being, 10-year contracts where you pay this much money for them to bring fucking shit in there, and it ends up like robbing your country. And I'm sure it'll force you to take out loans to even pay for it in the first place, like on and on and so forth. It's same
yeah,
old
like if you're
things.
selling it to them, then you're also setting the price, right? Like if you're locking in their supplier, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you can only get your nuclear from here, right?
Yeah. Like, listen, we don't trust the Russians giving you this stuff, or we don't trust the Chinese giving you this stuff, so it's got to be like a trusted source here. I'm sure there'll be some other
That means they could set the price
Western country.
to whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. It looks like a scheme. It looks like a scheme from the outside. But speaking of JD Vance, here's this.
So in the past couple of days, I've seen a lot of reporting from the American media about the 10-point proposal that the Iranians have made. Now, as I know, because I've been involved in this, there are 3 different 10-point proposals at least that I've seen floating around. The first 10-point proposal was something that was submitted.
Right, clean it up, Judy.
Probably written by ChatGPT that was submitted to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. That immediately went in the garbage and was rejected. There was a second 10-point proposal that was much more reasonable, that was based on some back
Air
and
Force
forth between
too.
us, between the
Not to be
Pakistanis, and
confused
between
with
the
Air
Iranians.
Force One.
That is the 10-point proposal that the president was referencing in his
Thank you,
truth
Harry.
It's just whatever they're flying in, right?
Frankly, I've seen a third 10-point proposal that's even more.
If he hops on a
maximalist than the
commercial
first
flight,
10-point proposal
it
that's
is
floating around
still Air
various
Force
social
too.
media channels. Now, here's what's interesting about all this.
Well, he was in Hungary
So in the
yesterday,
past
so
couple of
there you
days,
go.
Hang on, guys. Just let this end play here.
was much more reasonable, that was based on some back and forth between us, between the Pakistanis, and between the Iranians. That is the 10-point proposal that the president was referencing in his truth yesterday. And then, frankly, I've seen a third 10-point proposal that's even more maximalist than the first 10-point proposal that's been floating around various social media channels. Now, here's what's interesting about all this.
Okay.
So in the past...
So, once again, and I said this yesterday, if this is correct, he's using this here. I'll share it again because I shared it in the first original video we did. But these terms here, if this is the case, if this is what was offered, it's just not going to happen, dude. It isn't about me. Oh, I just fuck it. What was Prop saying? I overly support. I don't know what the fuck was he saying. Like, oh, you let Iran, let them do their thing, man. Like, well, if they propose this, it's just not going to fly, dude. Like, it's just obvious. That's who Iran's dealing with. I don't know why you'd be dick riding Iran either. That's someone's own prerogative. But these things right here are just not going to happen, right? Just not going to happen. U.S. commitment to non-aggression. See, like that they can get in writing. They can get those things in writing. Not in reality, but they can get it in writing, at least, right? In actual reality, yeah, they're going to be aggressors towards you still. Like, sorry, guys. But you can get it in writing. Good for you. Continued Iranian control over the Strait. That's just not happening. Not going to happen, right? So when I saw this, and Trump's like, yeah, I saw the plan. I agree with it. I'm like, no chance. Like, this makes no sense. This is not going to fly. If there's a different version, it's still not going to work either because we just heard Caroline Levitt, whatever her fucking name is, acceptance of Iran's uranium enrichment. That is just not there. It's been the red line from the very fucking beginning. Why would it move now?
I'm gonna milk her booby someday.
Jesus Christ.
Just gonna sneak the milkers.
Anyways, yeah, sanctions, you can do some things with sanctions, but this one's just not moving as far as I understand, and I didn't believe it when it was said yesterday. But, you know, I think I guess I'm the bad guy for calling that out. Like, yo, the U.S. is not going to go with this one. That's not happening. This is not happening. This is not going to happen in reality. Maybe in writing you can get that. Some of these things are just not happening, man. Payment of compensation, that's not happening. Unless it's in the form of, like, U.S. enterprise or allied enterprise within the country of Iran, right? They can build 20 McDonald's. Okay, here's your compensation. We created some jobs for you. Called McDonald's and ExxonMobil and right. Withdrawal of U.S. combat forces from the region. That's just not happening. These things aren't happening, dude. So like that's why off rep I was like, this is not gonna. It's almost like Iran's like, yo, listen, we're gonna keep fighting you. Let's keep fighting. So we're gonna give you like, you know, some wild things to ask for. And I understand. Sorry, once again, prop. I apologize. I understand the idea of, you know, building up your proposal so that you come down to something else, which is, you know, easier. But some of these things are just not movable. There is no lesser of it. Iran, as far as I understand, will not accept outside uranium enrichment, and the U.S. won't accept them enriching at all. That's a no-go.
Sure.
Iran control over the Strait of Hormuz. Maybe in practicality they kind of control it, but on paper they don't. On paper they don't. And they're never going to accept that on paper. Like there's certain things here where it's like there is no come back down from. There's no like lesser version of it. It's like this or that. Straight up. Here's the red lines just up and down this fucking thing. Withdrawal of U.S. combat forces? Like, what, you think you're going to just like leave place? Okay, just for Iran, because Iran said so. Let's leave. Get the fuck out of here. Is Iran going to say, well, leave like some troops over here and make the others leave? You think Iran's going to accept that? Like, come on. Like, these are like red, like hard lines here. I'm just saying.
I think withdrawal of forces is a possibility if we consider that like the money it takes to keep up all this stuff is kind of hemorrhaging.
Oh, that's on purpose. It's
Yeah.
like these things are also kind of vague on these points. I don't know if that's how vague they are, but the region, like what does the region mean? We're not going to leave like all of these other countries around them.
Yeah.
Like that's not never going to happen.
And,
Even
and on paper,
number
we're
5,
not in Iran,
lifting
right? On
lifting
paper.
sanctions. Like they'll be like, okay, they'll lift some sanctions, but then it goes lifting secondary sanctions. We're like these countries, we put a lot of sanctions. It's not just like, hey, we have this one big sanction. There are so many that they put. That's why there's secondary ones. And
Yes.
so like it's just a everyday tool that's used countries to like keep like putting pressure. So they just keep stacking them and stacking them. So there's no way they're gonna lift all the sanctions from them. Like that's
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's kind of possible, but if this is part of the agreement, then that means that even if they were to lift all of them, if that's part of the agreement, that means as soon as you put like one or just ease like lightweight ones, you're breaking the agreement. So
Yeah.
that's where this becomes like it could be like if this is part of the agreement, that is also a problem
oh, yeah.
for how US operates, right?
All sanctions do not come off unless that government is overthrown and replaced with someone else. That these creepers like, right? And even if it's not nation states sanctions, it's individuals. It's like, yo, this guy from that country who maybe runs an energy sector or whatever the fuck he does, right? Like that guy's sanctioned. Meanwhile, it's actually covering the umbrella of whatever that guy's involved in, right? They do that quite a bit. They sanction individuals. Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like actually like covering a country essentially. Yeah, this is just
Number 8, payment. Like Trump can't do that one because that's what he was complaining about, like
in the
Obama
first
giving the
place.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made it such a big deal out of that over and over and over that he can't do number 8 without losing face. So
Well,
that's just it wouldn't work.
the U.S. is not doing it, and then this last thing here, ending the war on all fronts, including against resistance forces in Lebanon. This is not gonna happen. It's like,
well, it's not that they wouldn't compensate though. Like we go in and build, like rebuild things in Iraq and other places. Like that's not completely unheard of because they know they're going to make a bunch of money out of this. You know, like for companies. So they'll do that. He just can't make it look like that, right? Because of,
it won't be compensation. It'll just be sanctions relief. It'll be sanctions relief. They'll say no to compensation, but you know what? It's sanctions relief, which is what Obama did, basically, right? And once again, industry, sure. If payment comes in the form of a McDonald's fucking arch, sure, they'll be compensated in that way, like where they get like money on top of the lifting of sanctions. Like, sure, in the form of ExxonMobil and McDonald's, sure, you get some compensation, guys. Here's some jobs for you. But other than that, like, I don't fucking see that. I do not see that. And then this one, yes, I don't see this. I don't see this one either. Ending the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, like, unless they annex Lebanon, right? Plus Israel gets to annex the whole southern half of fucking Lebanon. That's not happening either. Right? It is what it is. Hey,
Put
good
that
luck.
hot blonde back on.
Oh my god.
I want to hear her talk some more.
Here's something you'll be attracted to, Harrison. Now, listen. Republicans suck ass, okay? Republicans. Too many Republicans, right? Let's see how
Democrats are gay. I mean,
let's see how the Democrats are doing. Let's see how they're doing.
what's your poison?
Let's see how the Democrats are doing. Here we go.
The bottom line is that Iran still has its nuclear stockpile. Its nuclear
This Jew traitor.
ambitions. Iran still has its nuclear stockpile.
Wow.
Its nuclear ambitions are still unchecked, if not accelerated.
Now, when you hear that, some people might look at that as kind of benign or whatever the fuck, but actually, those are the same reasons why Trump is there in the first place. The Kamala video I showed yesterday, they're using the same reasons for like all the reasons to attack Iran. The Democratic, establishment leadership, or whatever you want to call them, they're saying the same things. They're saying the excuses, their reasons to go fuck up Iran. They're saying all of that. So, like, but people keep telling you, like, yeah, listen, major difference. You really think Kamala would do that? Like, well, she said she would. She said it. And then all the actions of U.S. presidencies we've seen over time, they're all like, yeah, we'd do that. Somehow that's still not gotten through the fucking skulls of some people. We're still having to tell Democrat-leaning people, like, hey, man, these guys, they don't serve you. They don't care about you. We still have to tell these Republican-leaning people, like, yo, these guys don't serve you. They don't care about you. We're still there. We're still having to say that, bro. In the age of internet and AI and fucking technology everywhere, motherfuckers are still dumb as rocks, bro. How is that possible? Whatever. I'll let Chucky finish his statement here. Here we go.
And finally, American credibility.
Look,
The nations of the
our
world
allies.
are furious at Trump.
Our allies that are also fucking baby massacring motherfuckers. They're not friends with us anymore. Oh, man. Fuck. We look bad, man. Dummies. Dumb as rocks. Shut the Kyle Kulinski. Here we go.
The Europeans, the Asians,
What?
even
No.
the Middle Eastern allies.
Wait,
They say, what the hell is he doing?
Saudi Arabia's mad at us? Wait, the beacons of fucking morality, Saudi Arabia? They're mad at us? No. Oh, my heart is broken. We're losing these regional allies. Aren't they baby murderers too? Shut up! You're a baby murderer! We're this dumb. In 2026, we're still this stupid. Yeah, who cares? Who cares, right? Trump's in office. It's a parade today. Let's celebrate that we know better than Trump fucking voters do. Let's celebrate that. Let's throw a fucking parade for ourselves. We know better than Trump supporters. Republicans are bad. Let's throw a fucking parade around that one. Why not? Hey, George, less babies would be killed if a fucking Democrat was in there. I mean, babies would still get killed, but be less, though. Dummies. Watch the throne. Here we go.
And the United States' diplomatic position and credibility in the world is dramatically worse because of this war.
Brainiacs out here,
So
man.
just in summary.
Geniuses.
Just in summary. This war has made us worse off today than before it started. The war made us worse in terms of control of the Strait of Hormuz.
Listen.
Are we better?
Listen,
Or are we worse?
Jesse, let him spin. Let Chucky spin, bro. Let him spin. Watch this.
Has made us worse off.
We're worse off
than before it started.
Just remedial.
The war made us worse in terms of control of the Strait of Hormuz.
What?
The war made us worse in terms of the strength of the Iranian regime.
Oh, shit.
The war made us worse in terms of high gas prices. The war made us worse because Iran's nuclear ambitions have been unchecked. And the war made us worse because American credibility is down the drain.
I mean, is there any other way to spell out devil worshiper than that? Regular thinking people are like, oh my god, war is bad because people get fucking killed and massacred. And sometimes fight for no good fucking reason. That's why it's bad. This guy's like, listen, gas prices, we don't control the Strait of Hormuz anymore. Like a business guy, he's like talking to like a CEO. Right? It's incredible. We lost this fucking Strait of Hormuz. Our global image looks bad now. Like, what the who talks like and thinks like that other than a fucking devil worshiper? Honestly. Like that mentality. Get the fuck out of here. Better, huh? In fact, he spoke in those people's terms. These lesser evil people, he spoke in those terms. He spoke exactly in those terms. Congratulations, you're Chuck Schumer. Congrats. Miss all the revolutionaries out there. You're Chuck Schumer. Congratulations to you. Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you realize you didn't come up with that term. That was a term that was dictated to you by the top down. Like you didn't just randomly wake up one day and think lesser of two evils.
Exactly.
Don't get between Chuck Schumer and a microphone. You will murder your ass.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some sort of, in a way, psyop-y style thing. To kind of, I mean, that's the way the media definitely moves, right? Where they say, well, this guy's better, which is essentially saying lesser evil. They don't say he's a good guy, they say he's better. Look at, actually, they do worse than that. They look at those guys over there and say, look how bad they are. Which by default makes your person better. Right? That happens quite a bit in political discussion. Schumer. Yeah, our hero, Chuck Schumer. We lost some key allies here, Joe. So that's the real problem with when you go to war with Iran. You lose some key allies. You lose control over the Strait of Hormuz.
He's such a Palestinian. He's a bad Jew.
Jesus Christ.
I kid you not.
Is that Ben?
Trump's words, not mine.
Fucking Trump.
Yeah, this is shit he said fucking forever ago. It's like last year.
Anyways. Alright, we got all the serious stuff out of here. Oh, wait.
Joe, why do you always sound like you just woke up getting out of bed with gay sex and shit? Just be a man. Just talk like a normal person. Why do you have to talk like this all the fucking
because
time?
I'm Lord from the fucking Addams family. You rang.
You fucking asshole. Get wrecked.
Stay mad, buddy.
What the fuck? Anyways, now that we're done with all the serious stuff, let's get to something very silly. Mehdi Hasan versus the Professor Jiang guy. I'm ready. Let's watch.
You know what's so weird? I was just talking to James about this Professor Jiang guy because one of his videos got recommended to me, and it was something that he's covering about Dante's Inferno, and he was talking about Judica. Yeah, And I guess he's like, I didn't watch the video, but I just went on his channel and I was looking at like the
Because
different
the tit.
videos
She's
about
talking about
Dante's
white people
Inferno,
now.
and I guess he's talking about Judica. And the thing about Judica is it's in the ninth circle of hell. It's the deepest one. It's, you know, treachery, and it's treachery against God, the betrayal of God. So he's I'm guessing he's equating that with Israel. But yeah, it's just interesting. I'm like, oh, okay, we're going there now.
Did we hear him say that before? Oh, God.
He knows
Wait,
that
so
Dante's
there's a
trilogy was
Judica and there's a
fiction, right?
Judica? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Harrison.
Sure, but I think it's more about symbolism, and because there's a lot of like biblical iconography, obviously.
I'm just asking because I've seen
you gotta have
people
some
who think that
pornography
that's
every
just
time.
supposed to be real before.
Was this recent?
It's regardless. Yeah, it's from like a couple days ago. It's in the predictive history.
Okay.
Predictive history? Oh, that's
because it was recommended to me, and I'm like, what is this?
Don't do it,
Okay.
Jordan. Don't do this shit tonight. I will fuck you up.
Do you see it? Yeah.
No,
do it anyway,
what was the
Jordan.
Fucking title. Trump World Order. Was it that one, or was it?
No, it was like the Dante Judica. Do you see?
It's in the title. He said that. Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
one
it's under videos.
Okay, I didn't see that one then. I'll give it a look after this, but for now, we're gonna hear Mehdi Hasan destroy so-called Professor Jiang.
Yeah, he's heavily promoted on YouTube.
Yes.
Like, I don't follow this guy. I don't watch his videos, but I'm constantly getting recommended.
Yeah.
I keep seeing him too.
He's just a regular dude.
So from 18 hours ago, Jordan, Dante's La Commedia, his Divine Comedy, and then yeah, I know, Joe. So here's one. Okay, this is from 13 days ago. Which is the one that got recommended? No, okay, Pax Judica Rising. There you go. Game Theory number 16. Pax Judica Rising.
Oh, I see where you guys are headed. You're gonna shit on Israel some more. Okay.
What?
I'm cool with that.
Harrison, whatever. Do your thing, my man. Okay. Give it a little looky.
Do it.
I just wanted to mention that because I was just talking to James.
I just want to mention that
about
because
that.
I'm African and I fucking hate
Proceed.
Jews.
All right, I have to leave and come back real fast. Harrison, you're such a fucking butthead, Harrison. Jesus Christ. All right, let's hear it out. Let's hear.
Wait, why is he crying? Is he crying because he got destroyed by Velez?
You got destroyed by Velez?
Like a bitch.
No, he needed your help. He needed the help of two chicks.
I can't even hear you. Harrison, I can't hear you crying because I turned you down yesterday.
Shut up. I'm going to turn you down. You monkey.
Jesus Christ, dude. Anyways, let's hear Mehdi Hasan destroy Professor Jiang. Here we go. Oh, fucking play.
Back in 2024, Chinese-Canadian educator Shui-Qin Jiang posted a video on his YouTube channel, Predictive History, where he laid out 3 big predictions. Donald Trump would win the 2024 election, the US would then go to war with Iran, and ultimately the US would lose that war. Since then, the self-styled professor who says he uses game theory to analyze the past and predict future geopolitical events has become an internet sensation and has even been dubbed China's Nostradamus. But he's also faced some criticisms.
Why do I
his
hate Mehdi
predictions,
Hasan?
and many would say pretty out there conspiracy theories.
Like, stop talking like
2
that.
out of 3 of Jiang's big predictions have come true.
Too proper.
How much of that is his own geopolitical foresight, and how much of it simply comes down to luck? How much does the Chinese government control or even influence what he says, what he predicts? I decided to not just speak to Shui-Qin Jiang, aka Professor Jiang, about Iran and the state of the world, but also to challenge him a bit. Here's our interview.
You accuse me of
Shui-Qin Jiang, thank you so much for joining me on Zateo.
I've heard enough from him, Joe.
You have said you use game theory to predict future geopolitical events. For those who have never heard of game theory, please do explain what it is and how it helps you explain what's happening with Donald Trump.
I want to hear that.
Say that he's asking about, like, if he's state-sponsored? Was that his intro? He's going to ask him, like, how much of this is influenced by, like, China?
Well, let's be real. Mehdi Hasan is a dedicated Democratic Party voter, essentially, or supporter. So he's going to throw some shit out there. Once again, not saying Professor Jiang is legit. I'm just saying this guy's going to throw side shots and shit like that. Pause. He's going to do that, in my humble opinion. Especially if he's getting a lot of quote unquote right wing attention, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's part of Mehdi Hasan's goal. And by the way, the idea of him being a professor is irrelevant to me, unless it's him lying about it. Well, it's not. Nothing's irrelevant, but you know what I mean. Like if Professor Jiang is lying, like purposely did that as a marketing tool, which is lying and deception, right? Then I'm like, okay, that's worthy of me looking at. If it's like a nickname or something, or we went over this before, but I'm just saying that in general because I still don't have a good read on the guy's intentions yet. I'm still curious what they are. I'm still very curious. That's why I'm listening to him now, and also like after listening to some of the past stuff, like I don't know. I could see someone just getting something wrong or
No, you got
terrible
girl boss
assessment
to play in
skills
this bullshit.
or maybe he's legit
And
in
they're
regards to
going off on
predicting
some kind of
geopolitical
weird
maneuvers.
ass
Holy shit, Harrison.
tangent.
Shut up, Harrison. Also, good point. I do go on tangents. All right. What's up, Play? Just wanted to establish that first, you know? No one's...
Harrison does propaganda for Laura Loomer, so he really should not be taken seriously. I just want to put that out there. Just a full disclaimer. He does do propaganda for Laura Loomer.
Well, she's
Not
hotter
sure if
than
he
you.
pays
I've
him
seen
for
her
it,
in
but
bikini.
Literally,
did you just
I'd
call
say
Laura
that.
Loomer
Like, am I
smart?
lying?
would
Jesse,
not-
am I
I would
lying?
not touch you with a 10-foot pole
I saw it.
because
Jesse,
you're a
am I
skinny
lying,
black
Jesse?
lady with stringy hair.
Did you call Laura Loomer smart, Harrison? Holy shit. That's the most
He did.
incorrect
He did.
assessment I've ever heard in my life. She's one of the dumbest people I've ever heard. Like, talk out loud, type
Like ever,
on
ever.
social media anywhere. It's like, she's actually
Like
dumb as
she's
rocks.
a cartoon version. She's a cartoon version of like
She's
whatever
a
the fuck
beautiful
Trumpism
person
is.
and a fucking intellectual.
I can't even listen to Laura Loomer anymore. I listened to
Shut
that
up.
woman for like 10 seconds. My ears start to bleed.
I think legit
You feel-
half her brain's missing or something. Something's not right over there. Anyways, let's not be
Well, I don't know,
meanies.
Jordan. People with one of their hemispheres missing can still function.
Well, maybe her whole brain's fucking missing then. Either way, let's
You
continue.
guys just hating on the
I don't
wrong
think it was
people.
ever there. But anyway, let's continue.
Let's hate on the
Let's
right
continue.
people.
And actually, this is a good question from Mehdi off rip. A good question. Like, hey, explain game theory to us since you use it so often, right? As like a title, or is it a catchphrase, or is it something you like actually like can define or describe to me? Let's find out. Here we go.
How it helps you explain what's happening with Donald Trump and with Iran in particular.
Right. So game theory applied to geopolitics means that we see each individual nation state as a player in a zero-sum game to maximize its individual interests. And so each player would have its own characteristics, its own strengths, and it would adopt a optimal strategy in order to win the zero-sum game.
So how does that apply?
That's not a...
Yeah, it's basically just, you treat every interaction like a negotiation. Like everything's a transaction, basically.
Yeah. Which is not
That's it.
bad in regards to
It's like sex,
definition, but I don't know how that practically plays out for real. Like, because people will say things in headlines or on podiums that they're not actually like into, like they're not actually doing a certain thing. It actually may actually come down to something much more quote unquote human than just transactional behavior. All right, it's like Trump can say like, "Oh, listen, I don't want to go to war with Iran." Trump does not want to go to war with Iran. How do you know that? Well, he said it. That's not good enough. Sometimes you have to try to read behind what these guys are saying. It's not so upfront. But just for him just trying to put it in a box so we can look at it and understand it, right? The way he defines it, fine, fair enough. I'm okay with him doing that, but he has to really explain, because I think something more is needed than just reading their headlines or their quotes, right? Or their even transactions they make. You got?
Game theory is very flawed in the sense that it is so transactional. You're looking at one thing at a time, and you're not looking over time. And like, well, how did what I did, screwed him over 2 weeks ago? How does that impact this, right? Like, it doesn't look forward in those consequences. It's just like, okay, what do I calculate here and here, and what's the result?
It doesn't take into account like what's right or wrong. It's more like it's like a negotiation. Okay, how do I get the most out of this interaction? It's like
math.
I don't know. It's like pathological. Personally, I think it's a pathological behavior. But you know,
he did something that made it even weaker. That he also added to the game theory thing that like it's a zero-sum game, which game theory does not require that at all. Like actually, the classical examples do almost the opposite.
Okay. But once again, I'll be fair. Maybe he's saying this version of geopolitics, and in a geopolitical context, that's this version of game theory. This is what these guys are doing.
Yeah, no.
Right?
I think he's probably saying that like this is how they view the world. This is probably how they're viewing these quote unquote elites or ruling class people who are making decisions, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the worldview or maybe the lens that they're using, and that's why things are working out the way that they are. So I'm not necessarily saying that like he's endorsing that or anything, but maybe that's the lens in which he's analyzing. Like that's his like theoretical framework for analyzing the phenomena.
Okay.
In geopolitics, right?
I hope Mehdi asks some follow-ups to get more details of that, because you can't just be like, "Hey, define your game theory," and then okay, all right, next question. Like, no, like make them like line it up with reality that we see, right? Make it line up with that. Hopefully, Mehdi does that. But real quick, good. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't explain like why I'm so averse to the zero-sum game thing is like if you really see it that way, like and I've heard it specifically in this war, and even Harrison has referred to some examples that he believes like that blowing up the other person's stuff is winning. Like if you're just destroying more, so like let's say all I have is a building and all you have is a building, well, and so we're like equals, right? If I burn your stuff down, like it doesn't mean that like suddenly okay I have 100% of this. Like it doesn't mean I'm winning. You just destroyed stuff. Like in war, we're both destroying each other's things. So I see just net loss all around. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's a very poor mentality in my mind for these type of
and
scenarios.
also I think one of the places that really popularized it like into the I guess academic kind of world, like I guess for the cybernetics people and stuff, was Stanford University, because they had that game theory class and everyone and their mother took that class. Peter Thiel, all those people.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like a thing. I don't know. It's part of that like technocratic like culture.
Really? Because I looked at game theory before I've heard of any of these fucking guys, Peter Thiel or Professor Jiang.
I'm saying like what really kind of like put it into the zeitgeist, I feel, is like, or at least for them, they always cite this like, game theory class that they took in Stanford. So it's just interesting. Like David Sachs. Yeah, like back in the 90s when they were in college.
Oh, man.
Some of them in the 80s. So I just find it interesting. It's like, oh, y'all took the same class. Like this was that inspirational. Like Peter Thiel's written about it. It's interesting. But it's specifically like Stanford, like their, I guess, their business school, I would imagine.
It's like the way you guys are describing it, it's like a toxic version of the thing I think about, or the way I describe it or define it for me personally, where I'm looking at it as less so about nation to nation and more so like maybe like a family household. It's like, okay, your role is the son, your role is the daughter, your role is the dad, your role is the mom, right? Even the pet. Yeah. Hey, the pet is the pet, right? Like they have like roles there.
You can translate it to anything. It could be any. It's really just any interaction.
Yeah.
Like how you would treat any relational like thing with other people.
But
like how do I get the most out of this interaction? So.
Well, like remember how we were talking about like base things? Like that's almost like a base thing to me that I think you need to overcome. Personally, but I think it's still there as a base thing. Like, oh, that's mom, and mom's role is X, Y, or Z. That's dad. Dad's role is X, Y, or Z, right? You know, dad goes to work and does this. Mom goes to work and does that. You know, Johnny comes home from school at this time and does this at home, right? It's like almost like you're playing your roles out versus like, once again, just for observational sake, my idea was like, okay, you observe those just to break them down at some point, to have that, divorce from that sense of things. Like I'm just a role player.
That's where the game theory of it comes in. Well, from what I've seen, from what Peter Thiel has written, he sees people as like not original at all. Like they just copy each other. They're just replicas of each other over and over and over again. They're just like, there's this guy, I think he's some philosopher, French guy, René Girard or something, that he really looks up to. He's one of his thought leaders. who talks about this idea of like there's no such thing as an original person. Everybody just mirrors each other. There is no
Peter
authenticity.
Thiel has a thought leader?
That's
yeah.
Simulations and
He's
simulacras.
got a
Is that
chick
the-
over.
That's
Almost.
phonetic theory, right?
Bolchard.
No?
What's this chick's name?
Well, no,
Harrison,
the
please.
Baudrillard, yeah, I know he does like the hyper reality stuff, but this other guy is a different from a different like philosophical.
No, I want to know the name of the chick that's bossing around Peter Thiel. That's important to
Harrison,
me right now.
Okay. Sorry, Harrison.
But,
Turn it down a bit, bud.
But yeah, no, but like so he does believe that these. The reason why, like, so the thing that you're saying about the roles in game theory actually does resonate because, like, that is kind of his worldview in terms of like, oh, like, no one's really doing anything original. They're just like following a script almost, like a computer.
Oh, and he's fucking special or something, or is it like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's up to the people who realize
No,
this
that tracks.
to kind of, to guide, right? It's the good elite to guide civilization.
Yeah. I mean, they fucking move like that, don't they? They fucking move.
Yeah, they do. That's what I'm saying.
There are daddies and mommies actually like, yo, listen, children, you guys can't handle this, so we're gonna keep that secret over here and like guide you to help you have the best life possible.
Yeah,
I think even that
they
might
just
be a
happen
little
to be
too
operating in a
charitable.
Republican Party right now, but the Democrats are exactly the same because if you look at people like the guy, what's his name? The guy who was like talking about infiltrating conspiracy theorists or whatever. He's married to Samantha Powell. Samantha Powell, whatever her name is. She did like national security stuff for Obama, but they're exactly the same way. Those people. Yeah, Samantha Powers. Yeah, her husband.
And he's in office, or he's just like a
he worked for Obama. No, it's not Cat Stevens. I forget his name, but he's like he worked in Obama's like budget thing and also.
Okay. I don't know. I know Samantha Powers.
Sorry.
Whoever she's
but he
married
was
to,
more concerned. He was concerned more with like how society behaves. Like he was kind of like a behavioralist, like a behavioral scientist kind of guy. So, but he was a behavior scientist, but like he worked in business. So it's you know what I mean, like almost like buying behavior / like I guess kind of connecting how people behave to the economy.
Yeah,
which makes sense. But yeah. I can't remember his name at the moment.
I've said this
when
a
I'm on
million
the computer,
times.
I'll look it up.
Like, you fools better not you better realize these 100% these guys got fucking like psychologists or something in regards to psychology amongst them in regards to dealing with people. When they try to deal with us, they're trying to use psychology. Yes, it's kindergarten psychology. It really is like dumb shit that actually, unfortunately, works quite a bit on a lot of people. But I bet they have more. Let's say the population gets smarter. Guess what? I bet they have like some answers
Sunstein.
for that.
That's his name. Cass Sunstein. Sorry.
Cat Sunstein?
Cass Sunstein.
Cass Sunstein.
Is his name.
I never heard that name before.
Yeah.
Okay.
He even wrote a book called Nudge. It's like about nudging people. How do you get people to behave a certain way? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like they do the same shit. It's just people don't know him as well, but like Peter Thiel, Cass Sunstein, like it's not that different in terms of like who they think they are to like, I guess, guide society, act as a shepherd that nobody asked for. So anyway,
even like
what a way to view the world.
Yeah, I mean, like on the surface. I'm sorry, Harrison. Are you saying something interesting? What do you got?
He's not.
You're just talking over people.
Fuck you guys. Bringing his volume up.
Fuck you.
Oh, he said, "Fuck you guys." Okay. Got it.
Fuck you guys.
I love you too, Harrison.
Yeah.
Anyways, like the dynamics between like once again on the surface like PR style thing of Republican versus Democrat, it feels like let's say like immigration. I was like, go fuck them up, get the fucking immigrants out of here, right? He's almost like overly like very like blunt, but kind of not so quote unquote intelligent sounding or academic sounding, right? Meanwhile, Obama's like, well, okay, my tactic is like, hey, look over here, see this? This is an orange ball. Look at the orange ball bounce. Keep staring at the orange ball as they're fucking kicking people out of the country on the side, right? In some like ruthless. He's blasting music. Holy shit.
Sorry, I had to turn him down.
It
was
really
blasting
turn it
music.
down.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Harrison. But like that like PR dynamic between each other, between Democrat and Republican, where one's like, I'm very rational, right? That's the Democratic Party. And the Republican Party is like, listen, we're gonna go kick some ass. And that like that'll appeal to certain people. And motherfuckers don't realize that. They're doing the same things, essentially, like policy-wise, they're doing like very, 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 very similar things.
If not exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but it's being projected out as different personalities, and that's what works on people. Like, oh no, he's smart. He can speak correctly. Remember, there's like a whole big deal about George W. Bush, like not speaking correctly, I guess. Versus like, oh my God, Obama's such a good speaker. Wow, what a good president. I'm like, yo,
See that audience?
Fell for that.
George just misunderestimated me.
They viewed him as stupid they viewed George W. Bush as stupid for not saying words correctly or whatever the fuck, pronunciating words the right way. But Obama would come in there and say he'd say Pakistan. He's like, say it with their accent and everything. Meanwhile, he's destroying these fucking places too at the same time. It's like Somalia as he's fucking bombing it. But he's saying it correctly, so I feel better. Ignore what he's actually doing, right? There's
we can
different
feel better
tactics.
about it because he's very serious and very buttoned down, very official.
And pull up your damn pants.
Pronouncing every single word correctly. Pull up your damn pants.
It's like,
also sad that that's what people determine as smart. Not rather if you have the emotional maturity to not do bad things, but if you could just PR spin it as something good, sell to your demographic something that's actually bad.
Or use it as a comparison. Like, look how dumb that guy is. That makes me smart. See that? I'm smart now because look at George W. Bush. Like, that simple ass psychology fucking works on people. I've seen it. It feels like I've seen that happen. That's my guess for a lot of.
It's gonna keep happening for a long goddamn time.
Potentially, but all right. Let's get back to it.
Well, before you continue, Jordan.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Yeah, how you were kind of floating the idea that these technocrats kind of view everybody else as a bunch of children that need to be shepherded and chaperoned around.
That's more so Sebs was saying that, and I agree.
Well, I wouldn't even be that charitable with them. I think that they view us all as a bunch of disposable sacks of meat.
I mean, I think some do. Yeah, I think a lot do. But I consider the idea, once again, the way they behave on the surface. I brought up a story which is not necessarily technocrats, but kind of is in the same lane of weird people doing weird shit around the world. There's like in 2012 or 13, I think there's like a meteor that hit planet Earth, or asteroid, whatever the fuck you call it, right? Something hit Earth.
Asteroids are a lot bigger.
Whatever it was, it hit Earth, right? But the governments, once again, globally, because you can't just do that as one government by yourself. Like, we're the controllers of stopping meteorites or whatever the fuck, right? It's a collective thing. Like, these guys probably call each other, like, yo, this shit's going on right here, what's up? Right? And motherfuckers did not let anyone know until after the thing fucking hit. As in, like, they didn't know if there was going to be, like, a major catastrophe or the fucking Earth is going to be shattered. The Earth is gone tomorrow, right? They didn't let anyone know about it because guess what? If we tell you guys are going to panic and we can't trust you. We're the smart guys. Trust us. You guys will panic. We need to protect our children. We won't tell you about a fucking rock hitting the fucking Earth that could potentially kill you. We can't tell you about it because you guys are going to panic. Unfortunately, there's some truth to that, in my opinion. I think there's something to that, actually, unfortunately. But I look at them as like, what gives you guys the right? Well, listen, if you said, hey guys, listen, water is in short supply. If you told America that right now, I expect a lot of panic, a lot of dumb behavior, right? But
I expect some fucking bloodshed in the streets.
Oh yeah, but the people that are claiming to be the ones that can protect us from that stuff, like, hey, we won't say it to you because you guys are going to panic. I question those guys. Like, how fucking mature are you to be handling this? Not so mature, are you? As we've seen. I mean, you shouldn't be handling that shit either.
Toilet paper shortage of 2020.
There you go. It's just, like, listen, if you want to call the regular citizen a child that you need to guide, well, I'm like, look at these guys. Are these guys not dumb as fucking rocks? Are they not children themselves? No offense to children, by the way. No offense to them. A lot of smart kids out there, right? But
it's like a bunch of fourth graders being led by a sixth grader.
I mean, I don't even know. Not exactly. Not exactly. Once again, like you can pick a random person out of the population, make them feel worthy of something, and you can condition them towards being the same way, cold towards tragedy in a way, and like, hey, these guys are like our children. We need to protect them by hiding things from them, things that they want to know, but we can't tell them because they'll go crazy. So we'll keep it from them. You can get any random motherfucker on the street to be like, yeah, I'm special now, aren't I? Now I'm special. They're the same fucking thing. I say that very humbly and honestly. But all right, let's keep playing. Let's see if Mehdi has follow-ups for Professor Jiang's game theory definition or geopolitical game theory definition. Here we go.
He better.
He better.
Would adopt a optimal strategy in order to win the zero-sum game.
So how does that apply in the Middle East right now?
And he does.
Right. So the United States is attacking Iran, and these two nation states have different strengths and weaknesses. So America has the world's greatest military. It has aerial supremacy. It has tremendous technology. It has unlimited funding.
I mean, we're definitely a
and
plus
so
five.
Iran
plus
is
five
adopting
culturally,
an
right?
asymmetrical strategy of holding the global economy hostage.
Oh God,
meaning
it's
that rather than
Sid Meier's
attacking ISIS
civilization all
directly,
over
which
again.
it cannot defeat directly. It is instead
I think a new one of those got released
controlling
pretty
Strait of
recently
Hormuz,
too.
which is strangling the
I
global
mean, we got
economy.
Michael Jordan, bro.
It's attacking
like,
the
plus
GCC
five. Plus
nations, the infrastructure of the GCC nations, in order to force Trump into the negotiating table. So that is the asymmetrical warfare of Iran.
You've also predicted that the US, you had three famous predictions in 2024 that Trump
So if
would
I get
get
a plus
elected,
3 in
that he would
technology,
start
can
a war with
I
Iran,
turn
and that he would
Dennis
lose
Rodman
a
into a
war with
weapon?
Iran. Based on what you've seen over the past
He
month,
already is.
I don't know.
do you
He
still
can,
stand by that prediction?
I don't know. He can
Yes, I do.
terrorize people with
I
his
think
crazy hairs.
that after
and
a
shit.
month, I think that
Just let him loose in
Iran
Vegas.
clearly has the strategic advantage. And what I mean by that is that Iran is
Vegas is
clearly
deserted
able to
now, don't
articulate
you know?
its military objectives,
He'll
and
change
it
the
has a
world
very clear
economy, bro.
strategy
Let
of
him
how
loose in
to
Vegas.
obtain
You
these
watch.
military objectives, and it is working very hard and very meticulously to obtain these objectives. This is the complete opposite of America, where Trump has failed to articulate an end goal. And right now, it seems that the administration, the Trump administration, is unable to articulate both a strategy and a purpose to the American public, which is causing most Americans to not support this war. It's also causing low soldier morale among the American forces.
What do you think happens next if/when Iran
I hear a bunch of them are just refusing to follow orders now.
Right. So even though Iran has the advantage right now, we still have to remember that America is the world's greatest empire. It has a lot of resources. It has a lot of firepower.
It's
still
the military,
not
let's be real.
used.
That's the big dick.
So I think the next step
the
in the
military
escalation
and
ladder is that
the big
Trump will send in.
industrial complexes.
Yeah. It's
Other
like
than that, we are a paper tiger.
It's what's the word? Like self-perpetuating? I don't think that's the right word. You're feeding yourself, right? The weapons industry and all that stuff, and like it's cyclical.
Yeah, I think self-perpetuating would be a good word for it.
You're always in the business, basically. Like you're there. But all right. Here we go.
I heard
Yeah.
I heard
Good.
Marilyn Manson took out 4 ribs so he could self-perpetuate.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was kind of funny, actually, but I couldn't laugh. But that was funny. I'll give you credit. That was
That's okay.
creative.
I know you laughed on the inside.
So we could self-perpetuate. It's actually kind of funny. All right, here we go.
And before you play it,
Yeah.
How are you guys
don't
doing?
forget that the U.S. military is instrumentalized, so they're only told who to shoot at, when to shoot, where to shoot, and why they're shooting.
And when
It's an important thing to consider.
They made
I
a
wouldn't even bank
whole-
on them being told why they're shooting.
I mean,
Not really. Not in a way that matters.
you want
They
to talk
can
about like
shoot their shot.
You want to talk about like psychological shit happening, where someone's like, "I gave you an order," and you just follow it. Like, what is that? What is that phenomenon? Like, I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
I get why they try to do that to other people, right? Because they don't want them to hesitate in certain moments, right? But still, what is that? What is that? That's brainwashing, right? Essentially.
It's definitely
Well,
conditioning.
you gotta toughen your troops up, right? So you just like have them kill babies or whatever.
It's there's a whole thing to it, and then when these guys get home, and I know plenty of them, they get home, and that mentality carries on for a bit, at least for a bit, maybe forever, maybe in perpetuity. It's just there, and it's somewhere in the back of your psyche, just riding the wave, if you will. So
I've seen it in action before. It's not pretty.
It's not. It's not. It's a rough thing to get over too, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
From the people I know. But
Just the way your mother likes the Trebek.
Like Jeopardy, Trebek?
Yeah.
Didn't he die?
They like that Trebek.
How dare you? Anyways, all right, let's hear Professor Jiang. Here we go.
Has a lot of resources and has a lot of firepower still not used.
Yeah.
So I think the next step in the escalation ladder is that Trump will send in ground forces. So over 5,000 Marines and soldiers have been.
Just for the audience, the time we're watching this, it's 5 days ago this interview was. Okay, so he doesn't know about the ceasefire thing yet. That is still kind of shaky. We went over a little bit, but he has this at this moment. Mehdi and Professor Jiang know nothing about that ceasefire thing yet. Okay.
Well, as far as the ceasefire goes, for most intents and purposes, I would put that in the trash already. It's already been violated.
Yeah. Yeah, but
not just by Israel either.
The proposals there were just not going to happen. Those weren't going to happen, right?
Oh, no fucking way.
Even their closed-door version of proposals, the red lines
That's probably
don't
not happening
make
either.
sense. As far as I know about, the proposals will not make sense because of the red lines. But either way, just to be fair to these guys, they don't know that something happened.
Oh, nobody knew about that just yet.
Yeah. Well, I'll be fair. I thought once again, we're gonna destroy your culture, or what do you call it? Destroy your civilization.
The whole civilization will die tonight.
Yeah, that
His
screamed
exact
bullshit
words.
to me. Yeah, that screamed bullshit to me. And thus, but the ceasefire screams bullshit too. They both scream bullshit. We're gonna destroy you all. We're gonna make a peace deal. Both sound like bullshit to me. At this point,
They're just attacking like the main infrastructure in the cities and stuff, aren't they? They're gonna leave all the terrorists though.
What?
Well, they're gonna just they're gonna destroy the civilization, but they're just gonna leave all the people that they claim to be over there for.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't expect them to just do that either. I really don't. Not yet, at least. Not yet. I think the plan is to more so run over the government and then control the population there with some new leader or whatever. But yeah, I don't think they'll just like. I mean, they probably would. I 100% agree they would target civilian like infrastructure for sure.
Oh, they already have.
Yeah, exactly, and they would do it again, 100%. But
yeah, the U.S. is more after the resources, but Israel is interested in just grabbing the territory.
Yeah, it's
I had to drive out of town for work today, and I had to pay the Israeli Trump gas prices, and I'm pissed off.
Welcome to the world.
Can you do something about your government, Jordan? I'm sick of this shit.
I can't do nothing to boot. Nothing to boot
Do
that.
it. Do something to boot them.
I mean,
Give them the old boot and the keister.
Well, I'm sorry, I just keep saying like, hey guys, here's what on your own individual level do that, but it's not being listened to, so thus it is what it is. Best I can do is what you repeat it over and over again.
Can't you write a strongly worded letter to the White House?
No.
Careful now.
Like the United Nations?
Nope, that doesn't work either.
That doesn't work, eh?
No. No A. Anyways, all right.
No way.
You do your best, right? You do the best you can with what you have. I'm saying. Anyways, here we go.
I think the next step in the escalation ladder is that Trump will send in ground forces. So over 5,000 Marines and soldiers have been dispatched to the Middle East. This is already on top of the 50,000 American soldiers already stationed in the Middle East. And
if it happens, the U.S. is fucked.
That the Americans will launch an amphibious assault in order to control the Strait of Hormuz. Now, there are several options available to the Americans in order to control the Strait of Hormuz. The first option is to control Karg Island, which is the oil depot of the Iranians. 90% of Iranians' oil exports depart from Karg Island. Then you have Qasim Island, which is just opposite the Strait of Hormuz. And then there's a naval base further down the coastline. And so these are the three options that the Americans have. And it is unclear which option the Americans will ultimately choose. But given the track record of the Marines, we can expect the Marines to have an early success. The problem with the strategy and the problem with America's overall strategy is what happens next? How do you maintain control over the territory that you've claimed? The reality is that the Iranians have been preparing this battle for about 20 years. They developed this very effective...
Only 20 years? Jesus. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, number one, they've been preparing for the shit for closer to 50 years now.
Yeah, I would think more like that.
The Iranians are a lot of things, but they are not stupid. They are very aware of what game is being played here.
Agreed.
And point that I was going to make, if you send in ground forces, those ground forces are going to get pummeled into the dirt. Iran is extremely mountainous. That is not friendly to an attacker.
I absolutely agree with you, but the way these devil worshippers think is those are worthy sacrifices.
Well, yeah, chucking up bodies in the meat grinder, and eventually a few of them will get through it.
Yeah, in my opinion, if it comes to all-out war, Iran will not win that. They will not win that. "Quote unquote" win. Meaning, like the government that's in there, the leadership that's there will not survive it.
The IRGC.
Well, that's military wing of it, sure. But the leadership of the IRGC, the politicians, the I guess religious leaders, like not going to survive that. And for the psychopaths in the U.S. sending soldiers over there, it's like, okay, we lost Johnny and Bobby and Timmy. Oh well, let's send Brad, and Tommy, and fucking someone else. Send them over there.
Who else do we have? We got Billy Joe Bob Danny Frank, son of Jimbo Bob,
right,
who also died in the Iran War because this suddenly turned into a 20-year affair.
Yeah, we'll just keep sending people over there. You guys can't hit us. We can keep hitting you. You can't hit us. You can kill our soldiers, but guess what? We don't care about our soldiers. When it comes to like the government's mindset, I don't give a fuck about those guys. We think a fucking lobster and steak dinner is gonna fucking like stop. Here's your last meal, essentially. Hey, have this last meal. Good luck.
And I mean, if we can figure that out, I think it's safe to assume that Mojtaba Khomeini and all of his already know this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, like, once again, we would not be surprised, right? Of, like we said, the U.S. and Israel hitting civilian infrastructure to where maybe the people get tired of it. And like, you know what? Maybe we take these guns from the fucking Kurds, from the U.S. and other countries, Israel, whatever, right? Maybe we take these guns and use them.
In a way, I actually have to thank Donald Trump for kind of admitting it, because now it's in the public record that that this whole situation was fabricated.
Oh yeah, I mean it's good for the kind of the lames that didn't know anything in the first place in regards to U.S. involved in conflicts. it's, I guess, good for them to like hear it out loud if they actually hear it. I doubt they do, actually, honestly, Joe. It's kind of a side note almost, probably in their world, if they even hear it in the first place. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think too many people like saw that. Like, wait a minute, you're doing what? What the fuck? I don't think that was like the overall response from the regular population at all. Anywhere, honestly.
Oh, I don't need to be everybody. I just needed to be a critical mass of them that finally figure out that this is nothing but a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, but their answers will probably be, hey, let's support this guy instead, or that lady instead. That'll probably be the answer. I mean, the other quote-unquote team, right, the Democratic side of things, those guys are already gearing up for team playing and come vote for us in November or whatever as their answer to Trump. If we get enough people, we can impeach him.
Actually said something today that irritated the hell out of me.
What?
He's just, you know how he's, and it's not just him that's been floating this, the idea of invoking the 25th Amendment to take Trump out of office.
Yeah, Alex Jones said that too.
Which, not for nothing, he was never fit to serve in office. Not the first time, but especially not this time. But Kyle said, JD Vance, take the wheel, as if that motherfucker wouldn't be doing almost exactly the same thing.
Wait. He actually said JD Vance.
Yeah.
Did he use those reports of like JD Vance is like questioning the, what Trump's doing with Iran? Did he like cite that at all? Is that a part of his video? Or
I would have to go over it again, but those are his words.
Fair enough. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I mean, not for nothing, JD Vance would have to take the wheel for at least a little bit just because that's the order of succession, but I'm not going to trust fucking JD Vance to handle this shit. Hell no.
Right? That's why
Biden
picked Kamala.
Yeah.
Like a deterrent so they don't take him out.
I mean, no, JD Vance, once again, I can see people perceiving JD Vance as a better option than Trump. I can see that perception out there. I just don't. I don't buy it. Once again.
Yeah, I don't buy that for even a fucking second. He's not. JD Vance isn't any better just because his brain's not actively leaking out of his ears.
JD Vance is probably better at PR, which means he'll probably get away with a lot more than people even realize. He's better at PR. He's a slicker talker, if you will. But
it's like the difference between Sean Hannity and Chuck Grassley. One likes to run his mouth, kind of be a jackass on TV, and the other is like very buttoned down, very serious.
Mm-hmm. And there's that dynamic. Granted, I'll be fair to Kyle because I haven't heard it myself. Right? Maybe he's being sarcastic, and then I don't know. I'll take your word for it, but I have to hear it myself.
It didn't sound like sarcasm to me.
Fair enough. Actually, I'm probably gonna give it a look after this video. But all right, let's keep playing this. Here we go. Actually, have to reset real quick. Just real quick, guys. I'm sorry. Oh shit, I'm back. All right, here we go.
Over the territory that you've claimed. The reality is that the Iranians have been preparing this battle for about 20 years. They developed this very effective asymmetrical warfare strategy of using drones and ballistic missiles from afar, hidden in underground bases, to hit and strike American assets around the Middle East. This is almost like guerrilla warfare.
He's just saying news reports.
And historically, a imperial power has had great difficulties in containing guerrilla warfare. Yep. So unfortunately, the Americans don't have a long-term strategy of how to win this war. Trump is still hoping for a quick strike, a knockout punch, and he believes that the American Marines can deliver this knockout punch.
Liking this video.
Whoa, an ad? That's the exact same thing that Joe Kent said about Trump, and many people too, many other people. Like, oh, he thought it was gonna be like a quick strike, and then that's it. Like, bro, I don't fucking believe that. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't think he's actually following. Like, it's not even like his orders. It's like he's going along with the program essentially. Maybe military guys are saying in words like, "Hey, it'll be a quick strike," but let's be real, it's not really up to Trump. Not really. I don't believe that for a fucking second.
I think he's outsourced a lot of his thinking on this front to Keg Breath and Rubio. But even then, those guys are probably taking their orders from some military industrial complex jackass.
Yeah, I don't think those guys would be in control either, unless they're like, hey, let's help move this oaf in a direction to do these behaviors, possibly. But I just don't believe it. I think it's Trump's like apathetically like, what'd you say? Yeah, all right, let's do that. Fine. What does my master say? Okay, do that.
At the risk of summoning a certain somebody, this is just kind of an interesting detail. Apparently, Netanyahu was allowed in the fucking Situation Room, which is one of those things that's not ever supposed to happen.
Yeah, but if it's for PR, it's a good idea. Like, see, look, Israel fucking tricked him into doing this. It's good PR. Got the Joe Ken again.
Yeah.
For his
That's
little
why
excuses.
I gotta hedge my bets here and try not to summon a certain somebody.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, yeah, those reasonings, like, he's just reading reports out loud. This Professor Zhang guy, he's just just reading and repeating reports that we've already heard.
Yeah, this isn't anything that you couldn't just gather from a few minutes on Twitter.
Yeah, like it's... All right, there we go. I assume it's an ad. Here we go.
Journalism. You
blah blah blah.
Subscribe. Some have called you China's Nostradamus. How would you respond to those who say, sure, you guessed that Trump would win in 2024 and he'd go to war with Iran, but that wasn't based on geopolitical insights or game theory. People who follow American politics or world politics could have guessed that. I think I and many others were warning that Trump could win in 2024 and that he would escalate with Iran, as he did in his first term when he killed Qasem Soleimani.
Part one of your statement right there, Mehdi, bullshit. Second part, sure, that works. But yeah, you can see that he might want to be more aggressive towards Iran. That's obvious. But the first part of where you say, like, oh, well, listen, Trump could win. When I hear that from that guy, my personal opinion, I could be wrong, personal opinion, when he says that, I think the point is to be like, hey, guys, get out there and vote for Democrats. Hey, guys, this guy might win. Get out there and vote. Please, please vote, please. That's what I hear from that guy. My context is based on that fucking guy right there.
I'm waiting for Hakeem Jeffries to save us from Israel.
I've said this 2 million times, Joe, but I wonder if people forget. Rachel Maddow, Keith Olbermann, these guys were heroes when Bush was in office in 2000 fucking, 5, 6, 7, right? Where these guys are like, oh my God, the Iraq War, bad thing, right? They became heroes because look how bad that guy is. We're good because look how bad they are.
I remember, don't worry.
Well, it's
not the first time, not the last time.
They were doing that.
It's kind of crazy, the dynamic that creates in terms of like the separation between generations, because like these people almost become like two completely different people to different people. Like, for example, like I grew up in the era where like almost everyone who's like in the mainstream was a sellout, but I think like previous generations grew up in an era where these people were like building themselves up and they were kind of like more or less genuine. So it's kind of crazy the dynamic that creates.
Oh yeah, I mean, well,
like for example, like just one more thing, like AC/DC, like how like they were like all about going against the grain or whatever, or but like now they just like copyright everything.
It's because I'm stuck wearing this outfit when I'm 60.
Or YouTube being number 2. Comes on. South Park,
Ain't
Joe?
that some shit?
Yeah.
Nobody calls me that anymore. You shut your mouth.
It's because those guys were heroes when they were first doing fucking Live Aid and fucking, concerts for saving humanity. But then you see them like hanging out with some of the creepiest motherfuckers. Sorry, some of the people that do the creepiest behaviors on planet Earth, and they're like hanging out next to them. Like, you guys ain't saying nothing? What's happening? What's going on
Looking
here?
at you, Ellen.
And it's like, once again, for me personally, like, once I get caught, like, say I get tricked by someone. Okay, I got tricked. Never let it happen again. Never. But yet, the same phenomenon pop up over and over and over again. Once again, in the Bush era, right? Bush was being celebrated by a majority of the nation. And the news media was doing the same thing. Like, yeah, go George Bush. Right after 9/11, right? George W. Bush, yes. He's our fucking leader. He's our commander. Right?
Yeah, that motherfucker was pulling at like 92%.
And
that is unheard of.
And then all of a sudden, he became the villain, the bad guy. To where now he's stupid. Now he's like, he doesn't know what he's doing. Now he's corrupt. It's all for oil, right? To where all of a sudden these new faces, relatively new faces, right? Rachel Maddow was kind of new, basically. Keith Olbermann, I think he was on like SportsCenter or ESPN or some shit like that, right? Before he did news. But these guys, now they're the heroes. They're the heroes taking down the big bad villain called George W. Bush, who took down the big bad villain of Al Qaeda, right? It's like we these relativity games, when it comes to your conscience and morality and your principles, it's never gonna work. It's just never gonna work. You can't be relative when it comes to that shit. Figure it out, like really figure it out, and then stand on your fucking principles. Period. That is it. If I don't hear that from someone,
to toss another item on the pile for a quick moment, Jordan.
Hey, God.
Early into Trump's first presidency, I remember seeing. I don't remember who did this poll, but I remember seeing this get bandied around.
Mm-hmm.
There were people who were nostalgic for the Bush years because Trump is so vulgar and he says mean things on Twitter.
Oh yes, I remember that too.
So,
oh yeah,
it's kind of tertiary to this point that Jordan's making, but like I said, another one for the pile.
Oh, dude, I remember that shit, man. I remember that, and actually, that phenomenon of, back then they were calling it what, Trump derangement syndrome, for like certain people like on the internet were saying, like, calling it that. It ended up reinforcing something that was also stupid. Their anger towards CNN or MSNBC and Hillary Clinton and politicians like her, or commentators like them.
Emails. Ah!
Yeah, which is like worthy of griping about. That's worthy of being upset about. But guess what? In your actions of reinforcing how good Trump is because of what their actions are, you got played too. And it was warned. It was not everyone was doing that, but there was a warning about it. There was. And motherfuckers still fell for it. And it's like, I have to look at this situation right now. Like, man, I wonder if they're going to do the same thing again. Whatever it is. Is it Israel? Oh, it's their fault. Like, please, re-loop into the same dumb fuck mentality. Go ahead, guys. Let's sit back and watch it, I guess. It's unfortunate, but, like, motherfuckers move like that. It's, yeah. Either way, okay. With Mehdi Hasan, the second portion, yes. When he bombs Qasem Soleimani, right? When that happens, okay, that should be a telltale sign, like this guy's being aggressive and angling towards warfare with Iran. I mean, they're at war already at that point. In my idea of warfare, they're already there. But the first part, I think, is Mehdi Hasan being a fucking MSNBC contributor. Essentially. Where it's about building the other team up. Right? Use some half-truths to build up your own team. Which is disgusting, but yet is a common practice in regards to all these motherfuckers, man. In my humble opinion. But let's hit play. Let's hear more from our heroes. Here we go.
Yeah, let's hear from the great
Right.
Nostradamus
So I think
of
that
the
if
East
you've been
over
following
here.
the news
Actually,
very
I should play
closely,
the first part.
I and many others were warning that Trump could win in world politics, could have guessed that. I think I and many others were warning that Trump could win in 2024. And
Probably
that
to
he
get
would
voters, Mehdi.
escalate with Iran, as he did in his first term when he killed Qasem Soleimani.
Right. So I think that if you've been following the news very closely, then it was actually pretty straightforward to make these three predictions, right? Because in Trump's first term, as you mentioned, Trump did have a history of escalating conflict with Iran. The biggest escalation was when Trump ordered the assassination of Qasem Soleimani. And quite frankly, America and Iran should have gone to war during that time. But because of the escalation efforts on both sides, we prevented World War III during that time. But Trump was under tremendous pressure from his allies and from his donors to start a conflict in the Middle East. So if Trump had won a second term, then he would have started the conflict. I was pretty confident that he would start the conflict if he had won in 2020. But fortunately, he lost. And so now the question then was, what is the likelihood that he would get a second term? Would he win in 2024? And then as I watched the news, it seemed pretty obvious to me that the Democrats were hopeless, that they were not delivering on the promises.
That hurt his feelings, I think.
There were a lot of issues. For example, what was happening in Gaza, the war in Ukraine, that was making American voters disillusioned with the Democratic establishment. And so I thought that Trump would have a very good chance of winning in 2024. And if he
Yeah, and I think that was once again, I wasn't even looking at politics, but I basically guessed, like, yeah, Trump's he's probably gonna win. Because whoever's in office,
I saw him going on that tear through the idiot bro podcast circuit. That told me he was gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, whoever was, that wasn't even it for me, Joe. It's more of, hey, whoever's in office sucks ass, as usual, right? They're going to suck ass.
Yeah.
And then people not realizing how bad the first term of Trump was. That was pretty obvious to me. Once again, I was looking at movie stuff, and I can see the whole culture war thing happening where no one understood that, or no one wanted to point it out. Wanted to point out that Trump in his first term was belligerent and fucking devil worshipping fucking policies, blatantly. But no one realized that, as far as I understood, when it comes to these people talking out loud about politics. So thus, I'm like, oh, he's gonna skate on his first term, and thus automatically he'll look better than Kamala fucking Harris or Joe Biden. Who, by the way, let's be honest, that Joe Biden term, right?
Horrible.
Yes, horrible. But they also built the seeds for going at Iran. If you disconnect what happened in Gaza from Iran, you're out of your fucking mind. If you disconnect things that Saudi Arabia does, or Qatar does, or UAE does, separate it from Iran, the topic Iran, you're out of your fucking mind. If you take anything in South America and separate it from fucking Iran, you're out of your fucking mind. That means you're not looking at geopolitics. You're not looking at it, actually, in my opinion.
It's all basically part of the same goddamn little project that they're doing.
I would think. But it's like, once again, until you're like, yo, here's a full-blown treaty of long-term peace. Unless that's there, I'm sorry. What I see their actions doing is angling towards war with them. Now, maybe it's better off when it comes to, like, once again, Chuck Schumer, right? We just heard him in this video, right? Where it's like, oh, listen, he did it the wrong way. I mean, we should run over Iran, but we should do it in a different way. Which seems to be the Democratic Party's version.
Trump, you didn't sign the proper paperwork. I'm writing a very strongly worded letter because Donald Trump didn't sign the proper fucking paperwork.
Joe, there are motherfuckers walking around that don't think that the Democratic Party was always angling towards Iran themselves. I mean, I guess Obama's the exception. I guess. But how is that thing so easily to be like, left? All right, we're out of this. We're done. How's it that easy? How hard was that pushback of like, hey, don't do that, man? How hard was that pushback? Like, really?
Should be the easiest fucking thing on the planet. Just say no.
It's like, well, where was the like real pushback? Like, for real. I don't mean like tweets. I mean like you guys have governmental power. If they're like, yo, Jordan on YellBro Road on YouTube, you know, fuck that guy. Let's get his fucking channel shut down. They can fucking do it. Let's get him arrested. They can do that. Let's get him deemed like a fucking domestic terrorist. They could do that too.
Public enemy number one.
But Trump pulling out of a fucking deal was so easy. And I'm sorry, forgive me, guys. I get the story on the surface, but I can't help but look at the Julian Assange thing, where that idea was like, hey, listen, we're done. We're not going to go after Assange right now, right? That's Obama's government, right? Hey, man, I'm leaving office. I'm not going to go after Assange. Maybe for legacy, maybe to look better. Who knows the reasons exactly?
He's still persona non grata, but we're just not going to try to murder him.
Or it's that where it's like, well, don't worry. The next guys will take care of them. Listen.
Yeah, looking at you, Mike Pompeo.
Hey, guys, we'll leave them alone because we know these guys are going to go after those guys and fuck them up. Same with troops in Syria that were left behind from Trump to Biden to Trump again. I mean, Gaza, obviously. Biden to Trump. I mean, well, let's be real. Gaza's been a thing for a long time now. Continued.
Yeah, that's decades in the making.
Yeah, continued for a long period of time of massacres happening.
West Bank, too. Can't forget them.
West Bank as well. I apologize. Yeah, it's just there, blatantly.
Yeah.
But
the only difference is now Lebanon is in the mix, too.
They've been in the mix.
Actually, even that's not even new.
Yeah, it's not new. That's been in the fucking mix. 100%.
Yeah.
No offense to Lebanese motherfuckers, but that government's been a faux pas motherfucker the whole time to me. It's been
Well, which one? Because there's basically two of them at this point.
I mean,
Hezbollah kind of had control of the South.
The U.S. Western Israel-supported government of Lebanon has been a fucking cardboard box for years now. Let's be honest. Just like right now, Libya is a cardboard box. Syria, cardboard fucking box. Like these countries aren't. It's not established, independent thing happening.
Popular support for these fuckers.
And just like Lebanon was observable before 9/11 happened. Iran was an observable fucking target. I mean, like, obviously a fucking target. For decades and decades. It is what it is.
Netanyahu said not too long ago?
Before Netanyahu, Joe, it was a fucking target. It was. It was.
I was going to bring up how he said he's been dreaming about this for 40 years.
Yeah.
And, not for nothing, it's not just him.
Yeah.
It's the entire fucking society wants this shit.
If you have
That's scary.
If you have like makeshift leadership in some of these countries, guess what? That means they are a target, straight up. Because if people get pissed off one day and overthrow that motherfucker, guess what? Like, yeah, all right. Here's our excuse. Here's our reason. We can now go fuck you up and take your shit back from you because we want it in our hands, our control. Duh.
Number one state sponsor of terror. Wah!
But all right, let's
fuck
keep
off out of here.
Let's keep playing these guys. Who, once again, Professor Jiang is saying quite a bit more than Mehdi. Mehdi's just asking questions so far, but I guess it gets into a little scuffle at some point, intellectual scuffle. Here we go.
He won in 2024. I think there's a very strong likelihood that he would attack Iran. And so all three predictions have panned out.
Just on your predictions, I just want to be clear here. Nikki Haley was key to your prediction about Iran. You said Trump would pick her as his running mate, and as vice president, she would pressure Trump into war with Iran. She's a notorious
so
hawk.
to prove that
but he didn't pick her.
He's wrong.
And his current vice president, J.D. Vance, is widely seen as a skeptic of this war. So you admit you got that wrong?
Yes.
And there it is. There it is. Playing politics. Well, J.D. Vance, he's a skeptic. Not because... Is that a true thing in reality? Or are you saying it just to make this guy look wrong so you can pull more viewers towards your direction, Mehdi Hasan? Is that the point? And then tell your viewers to go vote for Democrats. Hey, go vote for fucking Chuck Schumer. Go ahead. This guy's a fucking lame, bro. He's a lame.
Fucking midterms. Don't you understand?
They're gonna put Mehdi in jail, man. We gotta win the midterms. Whatever it takes. Whatever lie it takes. Just make it happen. All right.
Oh, I hate living on this planet sometimes.
It is what it is. Here we go.
Absolutely. So, so I was thinking of what Trump's electoral strategy would be in 2024. And I think that if he picked Nikki Haley, this would be a tremendous boost to his campaign, because Nikki Haley would be very popular among neocons in Washington, D.C. She would also be very popular among suburban white women. That was key to Biden's victory in 2020. So I made the prediction that he would pick Nikki Haley. But
hey, man, listen. They don't need the neocon guys, quote unquote neocon guys, are already in support of this stuff. They're already with it. Like, yeah, let's do this shit. They're already in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to like do extra shit for them. The extra shit is for the dum-dums. Like, he didn't start any new wars. He's gonna arrest the deep state and take down the deep state. Those mindsets are the ones you have to trick. And I don't think Nikki Haley's doing it. J.D. Vance.
Oh man,
maybe
remember that?
better.
No new wars.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Well, the thing is,
that's like classic Alex Jones shit a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of people saying that, not even in the full blown conspiracy world. And I'm like, yeah, what are your standards for like? If by those standards, Obama didn't start any new wars either. By those standards that they claim for Trump, like, yeah, it doesn't make sense here. But guess what? They'll fall for it anyways because they're trying. They're trying to satisfy an itch in the back of their fucking skulls. Trying to satisfy that.
Don't forget, Jordan,
itch.
Barack Obama is also a Kenyan Muslim who wasn't born in America.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, there's another distraction right there. That thing itself is already the distraction. I saw motherfuckers get up in arms. This is racist! This is racist! How dare you! Meanwhile, you're missing out on this guy blows people up for a living. Literally. Like, blows people up from child to grandpa.
To think of it, Trump was actually kind of on that train for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
But and so his participation in politics clearly didn't begin in 2015.
No, not at all. He had plenty of takes. Plenty of takes that people would like right now. Or they would have liked, which is why they're saying that he changed. Like, I don't think so. I think
Barack Obama will start a war with Iran because his poll numbers are bad and he has no ability to negotiate.
That's the thing, Joe. You insert some sense of like factoid or something that's correct and then put it next to yourself and say, look how good I am. Look, I said free Palestine. I'm good now. I'm a good person. I said free
14
Palestine.
or 15 years later, look where we are.
Yeah. Trump called out what? Funding Al-Qaeda in Syria. He called it out as a civilian. Went in office and then did it. Then did the same thing.
Look what happened fucking, I don't know, 9 years later, I want to say. Look what happened. Now he's best friends with an ex-Al-Qaeda operative.
There you go. Obama's old best friend is Trump's new best friend. Look at that. Brilliant. Things fixed, huh, guys?
Nobody
pick a
remembers,
party, bro.
nobody cares.
Yeah. But things like that is why I understood why people voted for the guy in the first place. Didn't agree with doing that, but I understood it more. Like, oh, I get it. It's like Bernie Sanders. Like, oh, I get it. I get why people are energetic about
shit, I
these
understand
people.
the gut instinct.
Well, it's like
I was a Bernie guy back then.
well,
I wish I'd known then what I know now, but
yeah. But I get the mindset.
Maybe in my next life.
I get it, right? They like, oh, this guy's different. He's gonna go change things, especially if you're like relatively new to politics, right? I get all that with Trump. Like Trump brought a decent amount of people back into politics, which I think is part of the goal and plan was making grabbing these like conspiracy theorists up. Like, come on back, guys, come back to voting, please, come over here, right? As he just says like taglines and words that these guys want to hear, but actually they're getting played the whole time. I get it though, but don't let it ever happen again. That's all. Don't let it ever happen again. But that, unfortunately, is asking too much, I think. Or it's too late, for all we know, right? Maybe it's still... maybe, what's it called? Maybe the voting process has already been, like, maybe it's done for. It's done. Maybe people are like, yeah, well, no, it's not, because there's a Democratic Party, right? Those guys are still ready to vote for Democrats, right? Until they get fucking played too.
Yep.
And screwed over. And then after that, maybe that's the end of the whole thing. The whole little experiment. But I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
It's almost like democracy doesn't begin and end with voting every 4 years and then going to sleep the rest of the time.
Yeah. Now, to be fair to Professor Jiang, I could predict someone, I could predict or make a guess, like, oh, Nikki Haley? Sure. But my overall kind of conspiracy mindset would be like, no, you'd pick someone that looks cleaner. Right? You don't want someone that's already been through the whole circus of politics and has a position that, let's be real, most people won't like. It's like Trump hiring John Bolton again, right? Like, oh, we know about this guy, so like you can't have this guy on your team while maintaining your facade of being a pro-peace, anti-conflict president, right?
You're a liability, John. I gotta let you go.
You look bad for us. Bye-bye. You're fired. But like once again, I don't call this guy not Nostradamus, so I'll be fair to him as like a regular person. Like maybe he's just guessing about things. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. Maybe it's other people giving him praise versus him doing it for himself. Possibly. And you should be fair about that. As well as questioning, man, where did this guy come from? What is he about? I get all of that. But Mehdi Hasan is let's be honest, a political actor. He'll do that shit. I need you to look wrong because I need to look right. And thus Mehdi will say, I'm right. See, like, follow me. Right into the Democratic Party. Just like Kyle Kalinske. Look how bad these people are. They're bad. Follow me instead. Right into the Democratic Party. Right to further future failure. I'm calling it. Call me Nostradamus right now. Democrats win. Future failure. Go watch.
If you're Nostradamus, can I be Lenin?
Fair enough. Kind of boring, but go ahead. Be some political guy. You're trying like an actual future teller? How dare you? How dare you? But yeah, good luck, Democrat guys. You're gonna vote for Democrats.
John Lennon?
That's right. Well, that's actually a bad ending to his story. On Earth, at least. Whatever. Yeah. Good luck. Go vote Democrat. Go see the failures that happen. And go tell me how better it is. I start listing names like, well, this person got killed. This person got killed. This person got killed. It's going to be in the thousands. Maybe more than that. This person, like, yeah, sit there and read every name to me of everyone who's not a quote-unquote combatant that dies in whatever conflict. Point them out to me. Read them to me. And say better when you're done. The very last word you say is like, okay, after 10,000, 30,000, 50,000 fucking names go by, say, things are better. That's all I want to hear from you. Let's hit play. There we go.
At the same time, I was not completely sure about it because I also felt that JD Vance also had a good opportunity to be selected. And I also said during my lecture, making the prediction that Nikki Haley would be his running mate, that depending on whether or not he picked Nikki Haley or JD Vance, this would determine how we can foresee or understand Trump's second term. And so if he had picked Nikki Haley, then he would have been he would have been fully committed into the neocon project of regime change throughout the Middle East, of supporting Israel, of establishing American imperial power throughout the world. He didn't pick Nikki Haley. Instead, he picked the complete opposite, who is JD Vance, who is America first, who has always been skeptical of American, imperial overreach.
This is bullshit. Oh my god, they're selling JD Vance this hard. Like that right there is sus to me. That's very sus, in my opinion. Or like dumb as rocks. Like what drove you to think this? Like, well, he said words out loud. Or anonymous White House sources say, not good enough, guys. Once again, the point is to never be tricked again. If you die hard listen to this guy and you go from Trump to Vance, the current sitting vice president, as Trump's doing all this fucking shit, and this guy's just like sitting back like, well, you listen, I support the president. I support him. Good luck to you.
Yes,
if you're that stupid, good luck to you.
The solution to the issue of Donald Trump, this guy that's like 95% Donald Trump.
I was like, fuck Trump. He's there as Trump's doing things. He's right there.
Yeah, that's why I gave 95%.
Once again, he can say
higher.
He can say all the words he wants. He can say whatever words he wants. The point is, will you be fooled again? Whatever potential JD Vance supporter or Marco Rubio supporter, are you going to allow yourself to be tricked again? It's not even something where like you can like make a joke out of it. You're actually getting played. No one wants that for themselves, I don't think. I love getting tricked. I don't think anyone actually likes that. You know, in a non-joking way, right? Getting tricked.
Now, this is going to be a bit of a shout-out to Jordan Peterson. Here's your fucking postmodernism. Reality just doesn't matter anymore to these people.
Like, who enjoys getting, like hustled? No one wants that, right? I hope. So of us, never let it happen again. Always be questioning. Always be in the moment when you're hearing ideas. Be there with it. Don't just like write it off as like, well, I guess JD Vance is better. Don't just write it off. Like really think about it. Don't get played again. Here we go.
Tulsi Gabbard to
Tulsi Gabbard.
Shit like that is why I think that this cult of personality that's formed around Donald Trump, it's gonna be a full blown religion when he dies, which I imagine could be fairly soon.
I don't see that at all true. I think he's gonna be the most hated, might be the most hated president, like on a social level that we've ever seen.
Well, the two aren't mutually exclusive.
The dick riders weren't about it for. Let's be real. They dick ride Trump in words out loud, but the point is to get the certain policies done. Those quote unquote neocon faction, if you will, right? Those guys are like they just want those things to happen. It's not about worshiping Trump. The actual phenomenon of people worshiping Trump, I think happened already, and I think it's lost its fucking luster. It's now a moldy little thing. Even for those guys, they're like, yo, fuck this guy. He betrayed us. Fuck him. So the actual worship is gone. Now it's just like typical, quote unquote, neocon.
Well, it's gone for a lot of people, just not for everybody, I'm finding.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's the nightly news watchers that let the TV just fucking glaze their eyes over. I'm sure there's that exists, but even that's, I mean, the news will say like, okay, now it's JD Vance's time. And they'll move towards that person versus like actual dedicated, like basically like what the idea of worshiping means, which was the internet fools thinking this guy's going to change the world over. That phenomenon is not there for those eye glazing motherfuckers, bro. And it's definitely not there for the so-called neocons. It's for neocons is business. Like, this is business. He's the guy to get these things done as aggressively as we've ever seen. And for the other guys, just like, oh, it's just news I'm watching. It's my entertainment for the week.
Well, for a lot of the people I'm talking about, the point isn't change. It's actually a kind of a reactionary sentiment, if anything.
Yeah. Fair enough. I just don't see any worshippers of this guy. Not really.
They're out there, trust me.
That has to be like a tiny, tiny fucking portion of people. Bad to guess.
I'm not going to claim to know how many of them there are. I can just tell you they exist.
Fair enough. I can believe that, but there's no way in my mind it's a lot of people. Relatively speaking, a lot of people compared to like the rest of the voter base or supporters or whatever. But all right.
Yeah, let's continue before we get bogged down on this.
Let the bogging happen. All right, here we go.
Right, I forgot. Dinner table.
That's right. Welcome.
Protect
your SpaghettiOs.
American imperial power throughout the world. He didn't pick Nikki Haley.
Our dinner table program will begin.
Who is J.D. Vance, who is America First, who has always been skeptical of American imperial overreach. But not only that, he also picked Tulsi Gabbard to be his director of national intelligence. And so these are the two major skeptics of this war in the Middle East. And what
they sold it. They both sold it.
Individuals is that it shows that Trump has an off-ramp strategy, where if this war goes sideways and the American public is up in arms and he's losing in the polls, then Trump may decide to pivot back to America First and have J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard elevated in the administration over individuals such as Marco Rubio and Peter Hegseth.
Yes. It's literally, that would be like the Democratic Party, essentially. When you look at like Tulsi Gabbard, right? Or J.D. Vance, the idea is like, oh, these guys are, within in inner circles, they're resistance, right? They're against this stuff. They want a more practical, quote unquote, practical solution for Iran. But meanwhile, what they've done is sell the narrative to give the excuse to go fuck up Iran, which is what the Democratic Party, that's what they do exactly. They will build the narrative and allow, like, we just watch Chuck fucking Schumer or any of these fucking people do this, right? Your
like I said,
last
George,
presidential
Donald
candidate
didn't sign the proper paperwork. That's why I'm very, very mad at him.
Listen, Trump does all this, but guess what? Iran still has nuclear weapons, or they're still trying to get them. See? Like, that idea right there is to build the narrative. It is to build the narrative. And then when it happens, you can say it more confidently, and dumb fucks will follow you, right? They'll be like, see, look, Iran's trying to get nukes. Well, maybe it's more so a deterrent at this point because of the prior events that happened beforehand, right? But they won't look at that, will they?
Since we've been mentioning it anyway, the Iran nuclear deal, I think, was actually unnecessarily punitive.
Apparently, it was written on toilet paper. Apparently, because it just got shredded and gone with, and almost like an afterthought. Honestly.
Also, yes.
Isn't it like an afterthought now, Joe? Like, basically, it's just like, oh, what happened? The JC what? Who cares? It's gone. We're here now. Disposed of.
I'll put it this way. It's probably not coming back anytime in the near future.
No, I mean, you know what I heard people saying? Like, Trump is such a narcissist that he'll destroy the JCPOA, then remake his own version, just to say he did it, and call it the Trump plan or something like that. I'm like, are you guys really looking at geopolitics? That sounds like Mehdi Hasan brain rot. It sounds like that shit, bro. It really does. He's such a narcissist. He'll do this. Like, guys, there's a bigger game here, bigger than his narcissism could be.
Oh, he's a supreme and insufferable narcissist, but yeah, there is a much bigger game here that doesn't begin and end with just him.
I mean, these guys are trying to turn worlds over. And also, I'm sorry, I can't help but, like, why can't I look at Obama as an extreme narcissist as well? Because he talks properly? He doesn't say the wrong words out loud? Like, they're like, I don't understand how people don't recognize psychopathy. Essentially, how do you not recognize these like, characteristics when we see them over and over again in different forms? Some guys loud, some guys are quiet, some guys are just girls. Right? It's a girl instead. No, it's different. See, look, things are better. Get Hillary in there. Get Kamala in there. Things are different. Get Nikki Haley in there. Now it's different. Like, yo, does that work on you? Holy shit.
The only real difference between Trump and most of these other people is that he's just too much of an idiot to hide it.
See, like, you're doing a relativity thing again. Goddamn brain rot, Joe. Damn it.
I said the only difference between Trump and most of these other guys is that he's either too stupid or too brazen to fucking hide it and put on the act. That's it.
Fair enough. But is Obama stupid, Joe? But based on your standards.
I think he's just clever enough to be dangerous, but on the big questions, I think he will fail and fail and fail again.
Fair enough. If you're a professional liar, I'm calling you a fucking idiot. All day and night. I don't care if you rip your shirt off and go, yeah! Or you go, no, sir, actually the answer is this. Whatever way you do it, you're still a fucking idiot to me. Investing in like, essentially, in like, knowingly immoral acts, investing in that makes you one of the dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth. In fact, you are amongst the dumbest. I put ants above you. No offense to ants. That sounded bad to ants. I'm sorry, ants.
Ants in the pants. Ants in the pants.
Ants are fucking awesome. But they sit...
You apologize to those leaf cutters right now.
Ants sit on a fucking throne next to Trump and Obama. They sit on a fucking throne next to those fools. Being a full shit artist already puts you at the bottom fucking tier, for me. In my opinion.
You know what ants have that Barack Obama and Donald Trump don't? They got integrity. They'll tell you exactly what they're about. In fact, you know what? Assuming the planet doesn't get flooded enough for squid people to take over, I vote that the ants get to rule the planet next.
The little black ants that get on my kitchen windowsill. You know what? Yes. They're the new rulers. I'm okay with
black
this.
ants, brown ants, fire ants, leaf cutters, carpenters, army ants, bullet ants even.
Except for Woody Allen. That ant is not going through here, bro. No. You're not going to be a leader. That was him, right? That was Woody Allen. Right? The Ants movie?
I think so. Oh, shit.
What about
that's a deep cut in my fucking
What about my Aunt Nicole?
I love that movie, Joe. I agree. I love that movie. Like, Woody Allen, no! How dare you?
Oh, man. I think I had that shit on VHS, but I haven't seen it since, like, it was out.
Oh, bro, it's a movie about fucking individuality and not just being a drone and falling into the system. There's a whole little story to it in that movie, Ants. And Woody Allen ruined it.
I sort of remember it.
Look, Woody Allen ruined us. Damn it.
Well, we still have A Bug's Life.
Fair enough. I think Ants is better, but whatever. All right. Let's play. Here we go. You back up a little bit.
Wax poetic about classic Pixar another day.
Yeah. I'm going to play. I'll be right back, though. Here we
go. He's losing in the polls. Then Trump may decide to pivot back to America First and have J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard elevated in the administration over individuals such as Marco Rubio and Peter Hegseth.
Yes.
So that, yeah.
I suspect he will blame Pete Hegseth if all of this goes sideways, as it is. Where does China fall into all of this? You're a Chinese Canadian. You're based in Beijing. China clearly stands to gain from a failed U.S. war with Iran. How much of your views are reflective of China's views, the Chinese government's views, the CCP's views?
Right. So the official Chinese Communist Party line is that China is committed to global peace and to global trade that benefits all. China wants a win-win globalized system in which people are trading peacefully and which everyone is committed to world peace. And so China has come out vocally criticizing both Iran and the United States. The United States for starting this war, but also Iran for attacking the GCC energy infrastructure. Remember that China relies heavily on Qatar liquefied natural gas, as is the case with other countries in Europe. So China looks at what's happening in the Middle East, and China, I think, is working very hard diplomatically to come to an agreement. Unfortunately, right now, China doesn't have much leverage over either the United States or Iran. In fact, many analysts believe that this war was started in part.
They're talking about China's position in all of this.
Okay, which makes sense for yeah, like on the surface politics. That makes sense. All right, here we go.
Over either the United States or Iran.
Now
in fact, many analysts believe that this war was started in part to economically strangle China, because China depends on a lot of its economy. A lot of its economy is based on accessing cheap energy from overseas, specifically the GCC. China imports 40% of its energy needs from the GCC. And so if the GCC were to stop energy production, then the Chinese economy would be in a lot of trouble. And this would give Trump a lot of negotiating leverage over China in the upcoming talks scheduled for mid-May. And I believe that what's going to happen is that because the Chinese are extremely pragmatic and very business-orientated, then I think that Trump and China will sign a landmark deal where China agrees to buy a lot of energy from North America.
You're full of praise for China's role in trying to get.
And that's the Trump world order thing we heard the other day. Like Trump's master plan, right? He does all this to essentially give Iran control over the Strait of Hormuz and to slow down oil production so that countries like the U.S., Canada, South America, Mexico, whatever, Greenland, right? Trump will have, I guess, control over it. So thus, he'll be the world's energy provider versus. That's kind of the idea he said. I could be fucking it up a little bit, but I think that's kind of the main idea that Trump is doing this on purpose.
Chess argument again.
Yeah, and it's once again, I leave room for him meaning well and just like maybe assessing things the way he assesses it, right? Fair enough. But when it comes to like, is he correct?
I don't know if he's saying this like he believes it or if he's just going over the idea because it's been in the discussion for however long, but
yeah.
I think we need to put that shit to bed like now.
I mean, if that project was actually underway, it wouldn't be Trump's project where he's like single mastermind, like, running the whole thing. That I doubt very much so. So if maybe the situation is correct, but it's not based on Trump, though, I completely disagree. Like, this fool's out of here in a couple years, right? He's done. He's done. And he'll be like, thank God I'm done with this shit. I'm out of here. I did my duty. I'm done. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Let me go enjoy, retirement. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can go make sweet, sweet love with Stormy Daniels again.
Ew. Stop it. Leave Stormy alone, okay? Is it weird I used to watch her porns when I was a kid? Is that weird? That I've seen them?
Thank you for sharing that.
Listen, you gotta be truthful in these spaces, okay? You gotta be truthful. And listen, I was only 13 or something. All right? Shut up.
All right, you didn't know better.
No, I did not.
Nobody did.
All I knew was boobies. All right, here we go.
Trump and China will sign a landmark deal where China agrees to buy a lot of energy from North America.
You're full of praise for China's role in trying to get peace in the Middle East. Here's what I don't get. You were caught filming protests by Chinese workers, famously in 2002 as a freelance journalist at the time.
I think I just stared. I don't think I actually did anything.
You were deported from China. Reporters Without Borders protested for deportation at the time. How did you get back into China? And why is it, some of your critics say, you have so little to say about China's role in all of this geopolitics? Is it because you're not allowed to currently?
Right. So.
Oh my God. So Mehdi Hasan just went with the. So, are you a Chinese agent? So, yeah, he kind of went there. He kind of went there. Listen. We know. Well, when it comes to Democrats, I mean both parties. They have a thing towards China. They have a thing towards Russia, towards Iran. There's like certain like adversaries that both parties align against in different versions, right? Different ways they align against them, but they still align against them. But I was just curious what he was doing right there. But let's find out. Here we go.
To China, and why is it some of your critics say you have so little to say about China's role in all of this geopolitics? Is it because you're not allowed to currently?
Back into China.
Right. So when I started as a young journalist,
Was it Jordan?
I was subcontracted by PBS.
Yeah.
I know I've said this before, but with the way shit's been going lately, China really doesn't have to do anything. All they have to do is sit there and keep their big mouth shut.
They got to do business stuff in the background for. But I'd say it's less effort from them than some other countries are doing right now. I'd say.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just have to. They just have to, carry on as they are, keep quiet, keep their big mouth shut.
Yeah, they're not that quiet in Africa. They're doing plenty, actually. It's just not really talked about maybe here, but there's plenty that's fucked up that China's doing. Plenty.
Oh, I'm not denying that.
There's no need to like downplay that.
Well, I thought he was talking about in with Iran, the Iran thing.
Yeah.
Like we already hear about the Belt
I just mean in general, though. Like China's not really. They might seem quiet, but that's not even necessarily true. They have plenty of like private military groups that they hire. Actually, Eric Prince's group, he works for the Chinese government. So there's plenty that they're doing that's sketchy. It's just not as like highlighted.
Oh yeah. So. Oh, I absolutely agree.
I didn't know about Eric Prince. That
yeah. Oh yeah. I've done videos about that years ago. So China's like their hands are very dirty. Very dirty.
Oh yeah, they're not some benevolent fucking force on Earth. Like, no, they're not. They're not that. Although you'll see it.
And it's not even just like economic stuff that they're doing. They're doing plenty of military stuff. You just don't hear about it. So.
For now.
Iran, the fact that the Strait of Hormuz only is letting through, in their currency, I think that means something.
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah, but I don't know if that's gonna hold up for too long. I don't know, like, how well established that is, to where, like, that's a long-term thing that happens versus, like, relatively, like, a petty move in a way. Like, yo, go fuck yourselves. We're gonna fucking go through, what's it called? Yen or yuan? Whatever it's called?
Yuan.
Yeah.
Although long-term, a lot of countries are actually looking to get away from the dollar.
I mean...
It's just accelerated a little bit in the past couple of years because of what a public shit show this country's been.
You guys are looking for renminbis.
Well, if Iran was a so-called resistance, right, which is what some team players will call it, they are selling the Strait of Hormuz as far as like travel to the highest bidders, essentially. At least what we know about on the surface, right?
Well, yeah, there's basically a toll in the hall now. That's
and who does what righteous guy does that?
I think it's about $2 million a ship they want to charge for most of these countries that got to pass shit through there.
Well, it's like they're not really resistance, essentially. It's just, at best, if they're the quote-unquote enemy, right, they're just shifting the global order in a different direction. If they had like the power to do so. That's it. But you're getting the same creepers, just different versions of them.
Well, yeah, of course. They have their own elites. They have their own, like, established orders and whatever. Bankers and what have you. Dynasties and all that stuff. All the corrupt people within their government. So it's, like, not really, I don't know.
Yeah, they're no treasures on that front either.
Well, it's like
pretty bleak.
Well, it's like Israel backed by the Big Daddy U.S. and Iran backed by Big Daddy China and Russia, kind of. Like, you're not really like, what's the win there for picking a side in that?
I think Russia actually depends on China for quite a bit too. Because
there you go.
as far as exports go, Russia really only has the gas.
I mean, yeah, these guys, they're gonna move in weird ways.
And arms.
And
that too.
And like, who knows how they got there? Maybe it was, oh, we're trying to we actually want to try and defeat the global unipolar power thing there over there, and thus they end up copying their tactics, right? Or they were full of shit from the very beginning. Either way, you get the same result, and kind of basically the same mentality, in my opinion, at least. And thus, we're still fucked. But don't worry, people will still pick teams in regards to all that stuff too. But all right, let's apply. Let's hear more. Here we go.
About China's role in all of this geopolitics. Is it because you're not allowed?
Sorry. Lagging. Forgive me, it's lagging. I'm sorry. China's role. Here we go.
One day we're going to figure out what the fuck
How
is
did you
doing
get
that
back
and
into
maybe
China?
fix it.
And why is it, some of your critics say, you have so little
It's
to say
ants
about
sitting on my
China's role
fiber
in all of
optics.
this geopolitics? Is it because you're not allowed to currently?
Right. So
You leave those
when I started
army
as a
ants
young
alone,
journalist,
Jordan. They've done
I was
nothing to
subcontracted
you.
by
They're my
PBS
teammates, bro.
to do a documentary on China's WTO entry. And one major issue about China's WTO entry, of course, is worker rights. And at this time in China, there was a major restructuring of the state-owned enterprise system. So I was dispatched to northeastern China to film a worker protest. Unfortunately, the place was swimming with police spies, and I was arrested and interrogated for 2 days. I was held incognito for 48 hours, which is the maximum by Chinese law. And I signed a confession saying that I was a reporter and working in China illegally as a reporter, and the decision was made to deport me without charging me with any crime. And so I was allowed to come back into the country, but I was deported. So that was the story.
If they suspected you of being a spy, how did they let you back in? China's not known for being that trusting.
They suspected me of being a spy, but after a 48-hour investigation, after doing a thorough background check on me, they concluded that I was not a spy. And I was a journalist working to film in a worker protest.
But it wasn't just 2002. In 2017, we checked, you wrote an op-ed for CNN.com, headline, China's media enables tyranny and corruption. In that piece, you praised the US media as the world's free speech defender of last resort. You said, in China, power trumps truth. And China's Communist Party, you said, maintains its iron grip on power by controlling what's said in the media and what's taught in the classroom. Do you stand by those views from less than a decade ago?
So in 2017, when I was asked by CNN to write an op-ed, I did stand by those views at that time because, like everyone else, in 2016, when Donald Trump won the election, I thought this would be very bad for American democracy because he was clearly not a believer in free speech.
He's not
He
fit.
called the news media fake
He's
news.
like, yes.
And so I wrote the op-ed
Yes.
for American audience saying, like, the greatest treasure, the greatest wealth of America is the First Amendment, the right to speak whatever you want. And I contrast that with China, where you're not allowed to say whatever you want, where you are very much monitored by the government. Even today, I do not have a Chinese online media presence. I do not say anything online. I do not talk to reporters from China because I'm conscious that whatever I say online could be used against me.
But hold on, they allow you to be on this show, they allow you to be on YouTube, you get past the great firewall that you criticized in that CNN piece. How come?
Just in Canada,
Look,
doesn't
the
it?
reality is that the best way to understand
think
my
he does
situation in
live in
China
Canada.
is I'm essentially a Martian on Earth talking to Martians back at home in Mars. Like, I am not part of the Chinese system. I'm on YouTube, which is blocked in China.
How do they allow you
English.
to be on YouTube? This is what I'm not understanding. If you're blocked in China, why do they allow you to become... You're very prominent now. You're famous in the
Jordan.
West. I'm sure that...
He's not in China doing that, though, right?
Well, number one, a lot
He
of people.
is. He's in Beijing. He just established that.
Oh, shit. I didn't catch that. I thought he was in
No.
Canada.
Yeah. No, I think he was in Canada, but he said that he was deported back to China, so now he's living in Beijing. So he's been kind of, I guess, using like a VPN to get through the Great Firewall.
Well, a lot,
okay.
a lot of people do that shit over there.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I know, but if China doesn't want you to do that, then it is kind of weird that it's like
then
you're this prominent figure now. So it's like, how does that work? I think that's what he's asking him. So
Okay, fair enough.
It's an excellent question.
Mehdi's asking for probably the wrong reasons. But all right, IQ test. Let's hear it. Here we go.
Chinese government has noticed that.
Well, most Chinese will have access to a VPN device, and that's what I use in order to access the internet.
You wrote for CNN that the Chinese government has built the Great Firewall to monitor and control their citizens' pursuit of truth. Does China control what you say now?
And here's the team playing.
China does not control what I say because, again, I'm not talking to Chinese people. I'm talking to Westerners.
Hold on, that's what most people would say is China's great benefit. They might see, your critics might say, they're using you as a propagandist to come and say this stuff about Iran and the US on behalf of China. That would be what your critics would say.
Look, the reality is that this is a fair and legitimate criticism that I've been contemplating for the past 3-4 weeks. Because, you know, when I first started this YouTube channel like 2 years ago, I was expecting 5,000 viewers who would have a passion for learning, who would be as engaged with literature and geopolitics as I was. And over the past month, I've blown up all across the internet. And I don't think this is organic. But so I wonder if there are some governments or some entities that believe that my message should be amplified. It is possible I'm a useful idiot. And I suspect that there are many entities around the world who would like to amplify my message, including the Chinese government, but also including the Russian government, including some aspects of the American government, including some people who are hostile towards war.
I appreciate your candor. You said you blew up on the internet. You did go viral over your Iran predictions. But on your YouTube page, as people now start to acquaint themselves with you and familiarize with your work, people have been slightly surprised to see some of your other stuff. You have a series of lectures focused on secret societies where you argue that groups like the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Jesuits are at the center of world control. People.
And there it is. I mean, I wish there was like someone genuine asking questions to this, the Professor Jiang guy. I wish, but instead we have Mehdi Hasan. He's asking the tough questions, I guess. And by the way, like intellectually, he found a way around it. Yeah, well, you know, maybe I'm a useful idiot. They're just promoting my stuff, you know. Who knows who's doing it? Whatever. Well, what about the Illuminati, though? Why'd you say that? Huh? The Freemasons? Huh? What's that? It's like insulting to the brain. But don't worry, this is where we're at. Two dinglings talking to each other. Here we go. The fuck? No! Did I freeze?
Other stuff. You have a series of lectures focused on secret societies where you argue that groups like the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Jesuits are at the center of world control. People would say you sound kind of crazy when you talk about the Illuminati. It's the kind of thing you hear in Dan Brown novels.
Right. So I'm trying a new approach to pedagogy and to scholarship, which is speculative,
like, Dan Brown.
Which is speculative analysis. So I went to Yale and I received a very rigorous classical education. I'm very happy and proud
said David
that I went to Yale. But what I discovered in life, as I stumbled through life, is that
no, he's not going there.
At Yale doesn't really apply to real life. People with the most rational, logical arguments don't usually win.
What I learned at Yale, it doesn't apply to real life. He just said that. So I bet Mehdi is fuming hearing that shit out loud. Yeah, I went to Yale, but it doesn't apply to real life. And he's like, fuck you, piece of shit.
Yeah, no easy wins for you there, Mehdi.
Yeah. There we go.
You gotta work for
I'm very happy and proud that I went to Yale. But what I discovered in life, as I stumbled through life, is that what I was taught at Yale doesn't really apply to real life. People with the most rational, logical arguments don't usually win. And people who are the most progressive, most enlightened aren't usually the ones in power. So I was determined, just for my own personal benefit, to develop a new system which would give me better insight into how power works in the world. And so I started something called predictive history. And the very idea of predictive history is this: how do we know if our understanding of history is correct? And the answer is, well, we can make predictions based on our historical framework, and seeing if these predictions work out or not, validate our historical models. So what I've discovered is that if you have a combination of game theory, historical patterning, and eschatology, then this gives you a pretty deep insight into how the world will turn out. And secret societies are very much an important aspect of eschatology.
I'll come back to secret societies. A couple of things you mentioned there. You said you were at Yale. Just to be clear, your degree was in English literature, was it not, at Yale? It was.
He's looking for gotchas everywhere.
You're an English lit graduate, and you're not a professor. I know it's your YouTube moniker, but you're a high school teacher. You're not actually a professor.
Right. So when I went to Yale, I was actually a math and physics major. I was declared a math and physics major, but the Yale English department was very strong, and so I switched majors. So I have actually both a math background as well as an English background. That's why my system of analysis can seem strange to people, because I'm combining a multidisciplinary approach to my thinking. Yeah. And I'm not a professor. I'm not a professor. But I never said I was a professor. It's the internet who called me professor.
Hold on. You don't call yourself Professor Jiang on your YouTube channel.
I do now, but when I first started out, if you go way back to my early lectures...
It doesn't matter when you first started out. You do call yourself Professor Jiang and you're not a professor.
Look, there's a guy on the internet who calls himself the God. Have you interviewed him yet? And asked him why he calls himself the God?
I think I'm good friends with a radio host called Charlemagne the God, but no one actually thinks he's a God. People actually think you're a professor. Just sticking with your analysis, you just said speculative analysis. To many people, that sounds like you're just making it up.
I get it.
You're speculating.
But at the same time, I feel like Mehdi's kind of just splitting hairs here for the sake of it. It's not helpful.
I think Mehdi Hasan's a fucking liar. That's what I'm hearing right now. More so than even the Professor Jiang.
Jackass.
Right now, once again, I'm still stuck. I don't know. Like, either way, I'm not gonna like take Professor Zhang's words all at, face value and just like not think about it. But I'll leave room for like maybe he's just being genuinely like what he's doing. Maybe that's the case. Who knows? I leave room for that. Mehdi Hasan, though, I am convinced. You're a fucking liar. It's entirely
possible. He's just kind of having fun with the title.
Well, no, talking about him being that's what I'm talking about, Joe. Like, that's irrelevant to me. Unless he's like purposely lying about it, right? Unless he's doing that on purpose, then it's more relevant to me. But if it's like him, like, oh well, they call me professor, or I call myself professor. Okay, fine. Whatever. Keep going. What are you saying now? That's what that's what I want to hear. Right? What do you actually think about things? Fair enough. But I'm sorry, my intuition when it comes to Mehdi Hasan is like, yo, you're a fucking liar, aren't you? You're a little scheming little fuckface, aren't you, my man? I'm sure he's heard that before. I'm sure he's openly showcased that before. But don't worry, Trump is president, so now Mehdi Hasan is our genius. He's a brilliant mind now. Or he's taking down Professor J. He's taking him down. So now he's a fucking genius now, all of a sudden. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. This guy talks like a liar. He talks like a liar, Mehdi Hasan. He does. Anyways, like, after that little topic, like the answer that Jiang gave to this guy, once that answer wasn't enough for like, gotcha, he like moved on to something else. I'm like, yo, that's so dishonest. Don't you want to like actually find out? Of course not. You have cue cards, written questions on it already. That is what you do. That's your job. You fucking coward. You prickadilly little fucking coward. It is what it is.
Don't project your hate for K to the C, Jordan.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Anyway, you know what the sad part is?
It's justified. My hate is justified. I agree. It is justified. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, as far as like TV news anchor journalist types go over here, the sad part is Mehdi Hasan is still one of the better ones.
Oh, damn it, Joe! Damn it, better! Oh, better! He lies better. Is that the idea? He's a better liar. They come up. There is no such thing as a good liar. Thus, they're equally bad for lying in the first place and being deceptive in the first place. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't care how many factoids Mehdi Hasan says out loud. It might be in the service of some sort of like deception or bullshit. Thus, he's equally bad as anyone who's like sucks at doing that. Right?
Yeah, I'm saying this is what passes for good right now.
Fair enough, but yeah, we'll wait until I get. That's so sad. We have to wait for these guys for like once again, a Democratic candidate to realize, wait a minute, Mehdi Hasan's dog shit. Wait a minute, Sam Cedars dog shit. Wait a minute, Kyle Kalinski's dog shit. Like we have to like wait for that to happen. Sit back and wait for that. Like,
I guess so.
I can't do that. I have to yell it out as I see it. I see things here in this interview right here, where I'm like, yo, Mehdi Hasan seems like a full shit artist. On this,
well,
like,
Jordan, I
there.
don't appreciate you telling the truth about being public like that.
I'm not even saying it's the truth. It's just worthy of looking at. It really is. It won't.
What was your degree, Jordan?
Nothing, man. I got nothing.
Why do I sound like Piers Morgan?
Listen, I passed some math classes. Okay, here's my degree.
Here, have my fucking associates in computer science that I'm probably never actually going to get to use because that whole profession's a joke now.
As I said, I have a degree in computer science. Been gifted to me as of this point.
Don't steal my valor, Jordan.
I now know computer science. I'm now that guy. No, it's just like.
I get your point, though. I'm just fucking with you a little.
No, yeah. It's just like the image on screen. It's just like Professor Jiang. Like we have questions about him, so like now Mehdi Hasan's like a good guy, or we love Professor Jiang, and now Mehdi Hasan's a bad guy. Instead of like actually looking at it, that's where my main beef is. Pause. Whatever. What do you got, Silver? You're trying to say something. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Fuck. What was it? Oh right. When Mehdi was trying to be like, oh, you have a degree in English literature, right? And I was thinking, well, if you want to understand things like conspiracies or secret societies or whatever it is that Professor Jiang is into, you'd be better off having an English degree than like a math degree or whatever, because it's a story. It's not a math formula.
Yeah, actually.
That was a weird gotcha.
Agreed, actually. And that's not even like trying to boost Professor Jiang as like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He could be lying for all we know, right? But
we've kind of said it before here. A lot of the stuff he's been saying just sounds recycled from like early YouTube days.
I mean, well, there's plenty of that, I think. But the point is, like, are you genuine about it or not? That's where my question is coming. That's where I'm at. And
yeah, same.
Like, dude, when I entered college, for some dumb reason, I declared like, okay, engineering, right, as this like broad topic.
Oh, you poor fool!
So I did a lot of like math and physics. Because I was good at math, so I'm like, okay, let me do math and physics. Fine. But
you hate math.
I hate it. Well, I don't hate math. I don't hate math. But I don't know. My passion as like an undergrad was like, oh my god, philosophy. It's like these little like woo-woo ideas were actually more appealing to me personally than that, because my whole idea of doing it was just because, oh, I'm good at it, so let me do that. And my parents were like, yeah, do that. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do that. But my actual care was towards like weird ideas. Maybe that happened to him for all we know. So like that's just to be fair. He could be once again, he could be a full shit liar for all we know. But
I mean, if that did happen to him, where he kind of developed a taste for something halfway through his college career,
that's a lot of people.
He's not the first, and he's not going to be the last.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that do that for sure.
Yeah, there's got to be a million examples of that.
Yeah, but my idea of potentially calling Professor Zhang full of shit is not going to be based on him having a literature degree, you know, or sorry, only a literature degree versus something else. I'm sorry, that's not going to be it. It has to be based on him, like his personal IQ test. And when it comes to the public sphere, you could ask a question, and I watch you like fold or flop on it. That will be the actual determining factor for me personally, where I'm like, oh, okay, now there's like bigger questions about this guy. I already have questions, but like, I mean, like bigger questions where it's like, oh my God, are you a fucking full blown liar? That has not entered my arena yet, psychologically. Although the potential is there. The potential is there, for sure. I didn't know that shit about the fucking Chinese stuff. I thought he was, once again, I thought he was in Canada, like, or whatever the fuck he was doing, right? A teacher in Canada. But apparently he's all the way back in Beijing. And
yeah, I couldn't even tell you when that happened.
Yeah. And some of the narratives around that, like, yeah, it's worthy of question. They should ask that. He should answer it. He should answer to that stuff. But not Mehdi Hasan's version, where it seems like bullshit. It seems like a bullshit artist trying to bait someone in a direction versus being like the fucking the stamp of fucking of you know, integrity on that thing. Get past me, I dare you to. Mehdi Hasan's not that. He's a little prickly little fuckface. He's a little
he's not ready.
He's a little fuckface. He's a media guy at best.
As much as I have fun watching this program sometimes, he's not ready for this.
All right. What's up, Vlad? Here we go.
The problem with education is that it focuses too much on facts, too much on rigor, and not enough on imagination.
Too much on facts. Do you hear yourself?
My God, I agree in words.
What do you mean too much on facts?
Look.
Mehdi doesn't get it. Wait. Are we in woo land? He doesn't get it. Wait, what do you mean facts? Too much facts. What does that mean? He's like, yeah, too much on factoids versus like your imagination, which is what this guy just said, right?
Oh. There's a difference between factoids.
I swear I just said this yesterday. Fair enough, but like the idea of facts itself is very abstract on its own, but it's not considered abstract for the Mehdi Hassans of the world. No, this is the temperature of freezing water. This is it. Like, you never questioned it? No, it's in a book right here. I can see it. This is the answer. Like, you never questioned that? Never? Okay. And maybe that's my experience of like where it's like kind of like so much like quote unquote hard science versus quote unquote soft science, which is imagination, psychology, philosophy, if you will. I'm like, yo, that's my experience of like why I was more attracted to that stuff than
Well, since we're using the example of water's freezing point, how did we figure that out?
Abstraction, right? Imagination. Like, man, why does that freeze? When does it freeze? Right? Why does liquid become solid? What is that? Let me go look into it.
Somebody had to start poking around there at some point.
Exactly. It is the tenets of that stuff, essentially, along with observation and using the best tools you have, right? Your senses and your extensions of your senses, right? Which is like a tool, right? Something like that, to try your best to understand, like, what is this thing? What is this phenomenon? Right? But like, it's always included, either one.
Has to be.
Soft science will have the hard sciences right next door to it. If you exclude that, then I'm going to call you like, yo, your shit is incomplete. It's incomplete, essentially, to me. But all right, that's crazy. What? Like, that actually exposed Mehdi more than the other guy. Here we go.
The problem with education is that it focuses too much on facts, too much on rigor, and not enough on imagination.
Too much on facts. Do you hear yourself? It sounds...
He does sound like 2007, bro.
Too much on facts.
He does sound like that,
though. I know this sounds strange, but there is a difference between facts and
if it's 2007,
right?
should I play some Linkin Park?
Wait. Say that again? Sorry?
If it's 2007, can I play some Linkin Park?
Of course you can.
My name is Optimus Prime, and I send this message to all surviving Autobots, taking refuge among the stars.
What I've done. I face myself. Forgot the words. Whatever.
Mehdi's happy right there. He
Bro,
feels
shut
like
the
he
fuck
got
up. I
him.
want to hear his answer. What the fuck?
You shut the fuck up.
How dare you insult Lincoln Park like that? How dare you?
I am insulted. Shut up, both of you.
I don't have to defend Chester Bennington to you, Sebs. He did just fine on his own.
Y'all are making me feel like Josh right now. Like, shut up.
Shit.
Listen, some people don't understand the dinner table. It's okay. We're moving on now. Let's hear. That's actually quite. I'm going to play the whole exchange again. Shut up about it. Here we go.
Sounds like you're just making it up. You're speculating.
Look, I think that the problem with education is that it focuses too much on facts, too much on rigor, and not enough on imagination.
Too much on facts. Do you hear yourself? It sounds. You sound. I mean, what do you mean too much on facts?
Look.
You sound stupid.
I know this sounds strange, but there is a difference between facts and truth, right? Facts are what can be independently verified by other sources. Truth is a deep understanding of the world that allows you to understand why things are the way they are, as well as make certain predictions. We used to be a people, a human species that was very focused on
Not sure I agree with what he just
and
said.
that's why religion was such an important part of our lives, because God, prayer was very important to help us understand our place in the world, where we came from, what we're doing here, and where we're going. And now we just focus on facts, on making sure that you can memorize all the elements of the periodic table, on making sure that
when you talk about secret societies, I guess people.
Okay, so that also sounds like the late 2000s. YouTube sounds exactly like that. It does.
You see, shit like this is where he starts to lose me.
Fair, but in
I
words, I
agree with him, though,
agree.
because that is true. There is a hyper focus on like the mechanistic, the kind of there is an elevation of that, and then a diminishing of, like you said, like, oh, an English, a literature degree, like as if that's like worthless. Like, excuse me. So I do agree in as far as like what he's saying, like that sentiment, like that is a real thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by he's like losing you there, but I do agree on the overemphasis.
The difference between facts and truth. That's where he's losing me.
There is a difference, though.
Damn it, Joe. I actually
go
agree
with
with
what
him.
he means, not like the definitions, like what he actually means there. It's like substantive.
Well,
I'm not. I don't feel like I'm entirely following it.
Well, it's okay. What did I do with James? It's like, hey, if I throw a ball up in the air, it's going to hit the ground, right? Because of gravity and all like facts about our reality, right? But the truth is, maybe an eagle flies by. Like, we don't know. You don't exactly know. So maybe an eagle flies by and grabs the ball out of the air to where the ball didn't fall, right? Now,
well, in that scenario,
you'd explain the other. You'd explain the eagle.
Well, there's
right?
there's a certain level of like an uncertainty. Like there just is that, like, the people who kind of focus on the empirical facts and like that paradigm just cannot entertain. It's like, no, like this is an established fact. And it's like, well, okay. But like at the same time, even if you look at like their writings about it, you see they're using words like, oh, likely, possible.
Yeah, truth is
correlated.
past tense.
They're not even like even the word fact as like this objective thing that they're looking at it as, they can't even legally even present it that way, because that's just not, it wouldn't be scientific even in their own terms. So I don't know.
Truth is like whether something did or did not happen. Jordan picked up the ball, let it
even
go,
in the future,
hit the ground.
It could be future. Like
the
so
future hasn't happened yet.
Well, think of it this way: like Trump may, just to use examples that are commonly talked about here, Trump may say something, right? But the truth is more with his motives and what he's actually thinking about doing. And it doesn't have to be Trump; it could be anybody, right? Like there's an underlying truth behind, like,
his motives
but the fact is, what he said is a fact.
Words out loud.
Well, there's I think there's like pattern recognition where you can be like, okay, well, this person's been doing this this way for this long, so like I'm just gonna predict that like, you know, they're gonna continue to do it that way. But like that's not necessarily true, right? You kind of deprive people of their agency if you're like, oh, they're just not gonna be able to change because this is how they always have been. I just feel like that line of thinking, that rigidity of like, you know, like, this is how they've always acted, and like looking at it too broad, like you almost like lose like the magic. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of how
I mean, I can
it's
predict
like
shit all day
dead.
long, but it's just that. It's just a set of predictions.
Don't listen to
like...
anything this treacherous duck says.
Oh my god. Like,
it's like if things play out differently, then I have to expand my horizons a little bit.
Okay, but like, okay, the thing you said, Joe, where it's like, okay, Jordan drops a ball, right?
Yeah,
Pause.
you picked up a ball, you dropped it, it hit the ground.
That's more fact than it is truth. Truth is like, well, why did
this nigga's gay? He just admitted it.
Anyways, the truth is more so like, why did like my reasons for doing it is also a part of that dropping the ball. Also, like, why is the Earth here? Like, there's like a capital T truth in regards to any incident, any event that happens anywhere. There's some sort of like thing, something intrinsic that we don't maybe not see, you know, in regards to every little like event, but it's a part of it. That's part of the truth. That abstraction, the reasons that Jordan wanted to drop a fucking ball on the ground are part of the truth. How dare you? That's capital T truth versus, you know, I mean, facts are they're kind of a guess too. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, but this is the thing, Jordan. If you start to make these delineations and kind of talking about it in that way, you get dismissed as like, oh, like this is mystical stuff, or like this is that. It gets categorized a very certain way, whereas like the hard sciences get elevated, like especially in academia. I'm not surprised that he's saying this, like coming out of probably Yale and stuff, because like he probably saw it. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is. I don't think he's necessarily, even if he's like adopting some of his talking points from whatever early 2000s, whatever, I feel like there is an element of truth to like what he's saying right there.
I agree. Well, in words, yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm hearing, like, yeah, I've thought
and then
about
Mehdi's
stuff like
reaction is so emblematic, right? It's just like, what? Do you hear yourself? Like, what do you mean? Like, just so beside himself. It's like, like that's how you can just tell. Like, fucking product of the Commonwealth, colonized mind ass. Like, anyway.
How dare you speak bad about the Commonwealth?
Just anyway.
He's going like degrees further externalizing it, which is also worthy of like if Jordan drops a baseball on the ground, right? Or just drops a baseball, right? The whole
Like,
physical
in my
phenomenon
example,
of that is important to like try to I think that's interesting to understand too, or important, actually very important to understand as well. But also it goes internally as well. There's an external tower, then there's like the internal tower, where it's like the reasons, the motives, all of it driving Jordan to drop a baseball.
I'm talking about it as like it already happened.
Well, yeah.
Now, if you pick it up and drop it again, I think it's very likely to hit the ground. But who's to say a bird doesn't swoop in and steal it? Don't know. Hasn't happened yet. See what I mean?
Say what?
Not really.
I think I get what he's saying.
No, I don't get it.
Of course, you wouldn't get
you're
it.
adding the element of abstraction to the physical phenomena that you use your five senses to like witness. Is that what you're saying, basically? Like, oh, I witnessed this thing, and yeah, sure, if he does it again, it'll happen the exact same way. Although this scenario is not the same exact scenario as before. Maybe a bird swoops by and grabs the ball out of the air, right? Towards like possibilities, but it's still adding abstraction to the thing we called facts, which is Jordan dropped the ball. That's where you're going, right, Joe? Of like, the event happened. That's what it is. But even that, Joe, has abstraction to it, right? Doesn't it? I mean, it happened. So like,
no, but like, how does that connect to the fact versus truth? Excuse me, conversation or the
the
distinction?
Bless you. But
Thank you.
Gotcha.
I've always been of the opinion that something either simply is true or it isn't. There's not a ton of fighting to be had over it.
So you think it's a binary? Yes or no? Good or bad? Black or white? No spectrum?
Kinda, yeah. Something is either
agree with
true or
Joe on that
false.
one. I agree with Joe on that one. I think
now we can get into reasons why something might be true or false, but it can't be both at the same time.
It could.
It could
It's perspective, man. It could be true. It could be
depending on your
false.
frame of reference. It depends
Because
on
that
how the
statement
person's
could be
looking at
false,
the situation.
but it's true.
Depending
He
on
made it.
their own.
Sorry, Seth.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. Sorry.
The statement is false, but it's true. He said that.
Well, then those are two different things.
Nigga, shut up.
No, I just think that people might
Shut the fuck
experience
up,
things
Jeff.
differently.
Go ahead.
I just don't think that it's so cut and dry most of the time. Because people have their own emotional baggage and like their own reasons for why they might be viewing it this way. So it's like it might not just be like, oh, this person's wrong and this person's right. It's like I feel like it's more nuanced than that usually.
It's not I was too stupid to explain it in that way.
Black and white.
Well,
for me,
I think when things look gray, it actually is just a mixture of black and white. Thus, if you like zoom into each individual molecules of black and white, you're getting the actual detail, the actual quote unquote truth, meaning like some sort of motive from who knows where, from their internal tower, right, to an action that happens out loud, right, or externally. If you can, if you see all of that, that would I'd say that is the truth from their origin.
Well, you can work to separate those things out, but at the same time, it gets really murky because humans,
as
like,
far as us perceiving it, sure, but I
Yeah.
think though that individual can see if I'm the one dropping the baseball, right? Something within me, like an upside down tower, lit up from the tip of the tower, once again upside down, right, all the way up to the base of the tower, to base of the tower externally, to tip of the tower externally, where it's like a whole like pause. But there's like a whole chain of things that are all involved in this one action, which I would call the truth. And it's a part of also physical reality, like that too. And I'm a part of physical reality, right? So it's like all of it.
Sure, but where does
seen at the same time.
Where does like the perspective come? What if like both people are trying to do the right thing, but there's just like a misunderstanding, and you're trying to get to that thing, but there seems to be that like constant tension.
Well, trying to do the right thing. Okay. Well, that's okay. Their internal tower is, let's say they're actually like, motivated and intention wise trying to do the right thing, right? Internally, their tower is lighting up as like, in the sense of like, this is the scenario as they perceive it, right? Internally. These are the circumstances, and this is the correct course of action based on those circumstances, right? Which is all internal, right? Their whole tower lights up. So thus, okay, if the world is exactly the way that person thinks it is, right? Fine. Then like he's engaged in a quote unquote exact moral action in a way, right?
Well, it's like there's integrity. There's like a consistency between your motivation and like your state of mind. Like there's a resonance. Like there's not a dissonance.
Say that again. Sorry. Say that again.
When there's like when what you say, like the thing that you're doing, the thing that you say that you're doing, your actual like motivations all match up. There's not like a dissonance. That's different, right? Than like obviously when you're dealing with someone maybe of that same way of thinking, usually it's a little bit easier to have a conversation.
I mean, I'd view that as like meaning well, right? That's essentially what I mean by like meaning well, where it's like I believe the world is this, meaning like things outside of myself that I don't know about. I believe it's this way, and thus this is the correct course of action to take in regards to that circumstance. So thus I behave a certain way because of that. Where it's like you believe, like, oh, I mean well, meaning like if this is the case, this is what I do. But then
there's still
the
a
external
variety
thing
of
might be
reasons
different.
for doing all those different things, which is why it's like for me, it's not just black and white, and then it turns into gray. It's more of like there's purple, there's blue, there's red, there's orange, there's like there's a shit ton of colors. In my opinion. And I don't necessarily think that they all like mix. I don't think they mix together and turn into one color. I think that they still contain their own like individual colors, and you can kind of figure out like, okay, well, I'm feeling, you know, cyan or whatever, lime green.
I think this is like a symbolism thing versus. I think we might agree actually, but I think it's like a simple like you're saying like a spectrum of color, right? Of expression, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying on a moral level, I think it is essentially black and white. But it's
in terms of wrong and right, in terms of like, yes, in like being consistent and like trying to do the right thing, I agree with that. But I also think that things do exist on a spectrum in terms of like people's emotions and like what their maybe different traumas and things like that's it's very like almost nebulous. Like it's not like this thing. It's not so cut and dry.
Oh, no.
From how I view it.
No, that's fair enough. When it comes to just like expression in general. Oh yeah, I agree with the idea of like different, like a whole spectrum of colors in regards to expression. And your teammates, I would call them, right? Your teammates, your reds and your blues and your greens, they all join up to let's do this, right? Yeah. But I guess, yeah. I guess I mean like on a moral level, it is black and white to me. But that's like that's morals versus the whole thing where it's like I'm just
talking about like
baseball.
When you're assessing truths or facts or whatever, like when you're talking about, because the original conversation was about what is a truth versus what's a fact, right? Like that distinction. Right. And then sorry Jesse, were you saying something?
Right on the topic that these two are talking about, like when he said that, I'm thinking about what Mehdi said. Well, you also talk about Freemasonry or religions or these like world order type things. So he talks about these things, and I think that's a distinction where Mehdi's like thinks that's all bullshit, right? So
probably.
But like, who would you say is in charge then? Somebody might say the president is in charge. He's the commander in chief. You know, like that's a fact that he has not just a role, but the authority. He could decide on his own, right, on things of matters of war. But
on paper,
other people say like, no, there's other things going on. There's somebody might say there's somebody else that controls him. You know, like he's in name, but there's other controls, and there's a lot of like truths that people seek to figure out like what's actually happening, and I think that's a major distinction and like when it's talking about facts and truth.
So do you mean like not just the answer to what, but why?
It could be the why, or there could be a what you just don't know. It's not a fact that anybody's gonna be able to like prove to you. They can't.
But even the question itself, the what, it's like even that framing is like, I don't know. It almost like it's that if someone's only interested in like the what, the who, the where, like just very like almost formulaic. It's like, okay, well, what's the point of it? Like, you're just giving me information. It's not really like connected.
No.
Like, why
it's
is it connected together?
Information to what end?
Well, it's not knowledge. It's like just pieces of information.
Yeah, like
what do I do?
That's why I said to what end.
Wouldn't knowledge have to be how you actually connect those pieces of information? What story it is? Like, what do you actually believe? What do you think? Like, how do you evaluate all that? How do you come to the conclusion? What's the logic that you use? It's not just like this, then this, then this, then this. Here's the chronological order of how this happened. Like, and the Freemasons came in, and then the Jews took over. Like, you know, it's like
fuck my life.
Like, because and then you have to go into the whole like proof versus evidence, right? Evidence is not the same thing as proof. And then there's like the quantity of evidence. Does that mean that like it's the same as the quality? it's like a lot more complicated, and I think people get bored.
There's a whole bunch of sliding axes here.
I forgot the dude's name. I think it's like Nassim Taleb is his name, I think. Where he's like a kind of
the Lebanese guy or something.
I don't know where he's from, but he talked about like it's like skin in the game when it comes to academia. Like there's like memorizing, you know, facts.
Nassim Nicholas Taleb, Lebanese dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know his middle name. I just remember him from years back.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, I got in one then. Go me.
Fair enough. Like the skin in the game idea, where it's like it isn't just like memorizing passages or quote unquote factoids about the world. It's more so like you in the world. Like that's where real, what he would call intelligence is at.
Yeah.
And well, it's like the self-reflexivity. Like where are you? What's your positionality in this? Where are you? Yeah. Like where's your voice? Because that is like
you can't be void of that, right? Yeah. Which is what.
No, you can't. You literally can't. Academia. That's why. Yeah, you actually can't. Especially that's why I like reading ethnographic studies and things, because like they're very much self-reflect. Like, hey, I'm this person. I'm in this community. This is how. Like to me, that's like so fucking crucial to the thing that you're talking about. Like and it's not about like, oh, I'm white, black, this, like it's not an identity thing. It's more of like, what do you actually think? Like, where's your, like, where are you coming from in this? Like, what is your, like, what's, like, how are you entering this conversation?
That's where I go.
Everybody has to enter from somewhere.
Well, like, that's where I go.
Variable is where.
That's where I go with when it comes to knowledge. I think wisdom is supposed to be like a very strong tenet of knowledge, of like knowing something is wisdom, which means it's based on like you have to be there. You can't be like once again the kind of forgive me, robotic style of science expression where it's like the thing's over there, I'm separate from it. It's over there. It's not me. It's over there somewhere, and I'm studying in that thing. Meanwhile, like they're doing the measuring, they're doing the calibrations for the measuring. They're a part of it.
It's in the petri dish, okay?
They are in it.
These are my cells.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's no way around it. Your skin is in the game, but they maybe want to. I get why, right? The point is like to view it quote unquote objectively, right? I get that understanding or why they might think that way, but shout out to adaptation, the movie, where it's like, yo. Listen, you're trying to write a story about orchids, right, or flowers, right? You're trying to write a story about that, but you can't separate like drama and passion and anger and sadness and happiness and joy. Like, you can't separate those from like your characters in your little movie about flowers. You're trying to make it as like, oh, this is as pure as it can get. It's so pure. Meanwhile, it's like, no, those elements are part of real life.
You don't understand, Jordan. I just want to be pure.
No, they are part of your life, and even if you don't mean to, sometimes you kind of reveal like what you think about the world with the choices that you might make for certain characters, like the certain emotions or like characters you might give certain flowers. Like, why are you associating those? Is that random?
Exactly.
So it goes into that too. So.
Oh, it's by the way, great movie. By the way. Adaptation is fucking brilliant. To where it's like, I want to make a movie about, flowers, orchids.
I've never seen that.
And then eventually,
this adaptation.
Yes, with starring Nick. What's his name? Nick. Fuck my life. Jesse.
Cage.
Oh my god, I love your
Nick Cage.
Don't call on Jesse. Jesse.
I'm sorry.
Nicolas Cage. Yes.
Past experience. I know Jesse knows Nick Cage.
The Orchid Thief, a true story of beauty and obsession. It's a book.
They tried to turn a book into a movie, but the movie is all right. The actual creator of the movie went to an actual author talking about actual flowers.
South Florida. Okay.
And then the movie is about him writing the movie about the flowers, which ends up not being a movie about flowers because it's very
interesting.
I mean, I
meta.
I call it brilliant. I think that movie.
Okay.
Then there's like the matter of fact guys like, listen, if your story doesn't have fucking, drama, someone crying, someone angry, someone happy, it ain't a fucking movie, all right? He's like the matter of fact guy It's like it's also true though, because that's what happens. As this guy's like writing a movie about flowers, he's running into these things to where he gets angry or happy or sad or whatever the fuck.
There you go.
It's
Exactly.
Like, you can't avoid it. Fuck.
No,
that
you
guy,
can't.
that guy
And
complaining
you
about it
should
might
use
find
it,
it to be
actually. You
boring,
should
but
use
it's
those
still a
things.
movie.
That's part of it. I mean, this make-believe twin brother. Anyways, all right. Let's keep playing more of this. No, this was really good. Really good. All right. Here's more Mehdi Hasan and Professor Jiang. Here we go.
Making sure that
when you talk about secret societies, I guess people want to say, well, where's the factual evidence? Where's the evidence? You said, I think, the Jesuits control the Vatican.
Where's
First of all,
the clue?
There's nothing wrong with Jesuits. Good people. I know many of them.
Colonel
Second
Mustard
of all, there's
in
only
the
ever been one
library.
pope who's a Jesuit, and he's gone. So people would wonder, like, facts are important to your evidence. And people would say that it's not just fun and games.
Of course, the
when you're doing
slave of the
speculation
Commonwealth
on
is
YouTube.
defending the
They look at
Jesuits
some
right
of your
now.
rhetoric and they see that you
oh
don't
my
just
God.
criticize Zionism or
Stop
Israel.
disrespecting
in
the
the
Commonwealth,
fire
Joe.
you do. You talk about this
May
pretty
really
far-right
fail.
concept of Pax Judaica, a new world order centered around
There it is,
Israel.
right
You have a video called Dawn of the Jews. in
Sebs,
which
you know I'm
seem to
part of
answer
the-
question, why is it that
Not
Jews
me.
are so dominant?
You know my parents
Surely
are
you
part of the
understand why a lot
Commonwealth,
of
right?
people think at best you're trafficking in pretty anti-Semitic tropes, and at worst, you're a card-carrying anti-Semite when they see that stuff.
See, now I have to be fair to Mehdi Hasan here, where maybe he's, once again, to be fair to him, maybe he sees like, oh my God, you're selling this, like, listen, my gripes with this incident or that incident when it comes to world news, it's not about them being Jewish, it's about the nation state and the way they behave. And thus, you, Professor Jiang, going out there and making it about Judaism or Jewish or whatever the fuck, right? Fucking, what's it called?
Yeah, past Judaica. Judaica is the last sphere in the last circle of hell, the ninth circle of hell.
Yeah, or the fucking Talmud.
And it's a
or
betrayal
whatever
of God.
fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
So
like,
that's
Once
why
again,
it's from
I gotta
Dante's
bring
Inferno.
it up. I gotta bring it up because I've seen people not understand this. Dante's Inferno is fiction.
We get that, Joe. We don't need to. You don't need to repeat.
I'm saying that
the
to whoever the fuck is out there.
We get that.
Joe,
Yes.
what if it's describing something that's
We get
not
that.
so, once again, fact-based versus maybe it touches on an abstraction that can feel truthful for an outside viewer, right?
My point is, it's not intended as religious text.
It's got a lot of biblical.
Does that matter when it comes to
what,
people
what do you
behaving?
mean? There's Virgil literally leads. It is very religious, actually.
No, it's
It
not
is.
intended. It's not intended as scripture. It's based on religious figures, but
I didn't say it was intended as scripture, but it's got a lot of iconography. It's a story.
But
just like
that's
the
what I meant.
Bible.
It's not meant to be scripture.
Joe, there are people
Okay, but
there are people
that's
like,
just
yo,
people
is this
who-
guy a prophet? When it comes to that, for sure.
There's people who treat their organic chemistry books as scripture. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you want me to like. That's anything? Like, what's the point of saying that? Like, yeah, no shit.
Either
I'm
way,
not saying that to you. Trust me, there's people out there.
Okay.
there are probably some hardcore YellBro followers, all 5 of them. I'm sure they exist. But like, they should actually question everything they're looking at, right? No matter who's saying it. But whatever. Yeah, sorry, I had a point for that one. Oh, okay.
And no, and that's fair to point out in terms of Mehdi asking that question, because that was literally my thing, where because I got recommended that video, the Pax Judaica, and I'm like, what the fuck? Predictive history? What is this? Because I have also peeped, like that hyper focus or fixation on whether it's like Israel being the cause of all of the problems in foreign policy, or kind of this like equating of Jews and Israeli. Like I've peeped, like I'm picking up what they're putting down. So the question is worthy of discussing.
I mean, hypothetically, let's say Mehdi really cares about the whole Gaza topic, right? And the genocide that happened over there and still happening, honestly. And then he sees this guy like kind of, what were the words we used? Shitting in the punch bowl or pissing in the punch bowl. Whatever.
There's a turd in the punch bowl.
Turd in the punch bowl.
Controlled noticing. The controlled noticing.
Where it's like, yo, this guy's out here like kind of spoiling the actual like real tenets that I believe about this topic. and thus have like an anger towards him. I could believe that. That's where I give Mehdi Hasan some room in regards to that, because it is a thing from my personal experience of looking at the internet, where there is a weird line between like Israel, Jewish, and they kind of blur these fucking lines. And if this Professor Yang guy is fucking preying off of that, that's worthy of talking about. I think that's worthy of bringing up.
I agree.
So
As
I'll
the
give
kids
Mehdi
like
points
to
for
say, type shit. Low key.
low key. But
Well,
okay,
don't turn into a Zoomer, subs. We have enough of them.
I can't
as
help
is.
it. I'm Gen Z now, so sorry.
Oh, you fucking
You're
traitor.
grounded, is what you are.
Jesus Christ, you fucking traitor. Anyways, I want to hear Professor Zhang answer for that stuff. Here we go.
Jews are so dominant. Surely you understand why a lot of people think at best you're trafficking in pretty anti-Semitic tropes, and at worst you're a card-carrying anti-Semite when they see that stuff.
Okay, well, that is a very strong accusation. So can you please tell me what specifically I've said that you find offensive?
Oh, shut
When you do a video called Dawn of the Jews, why is it that Jews are so dominant? You don't find that offensive?
I
Just
never
the
said
title.
Jews
Fuck my
were dominant.
life,
What I
dude.
said in my lecture was that the Jewish identity was
Can you
created
go
by the
back? I just want
Empire
to hear that
in order
really
to
quick.
better control the Levant. Was
When you do
The dawn
what specifically
of the
I've
Jews.
said that you find offensive?
When you do a video called Dawn of the Jews, why is it that Jews are so dominant? You don't find that offensive?
I never said Jews were
Oh
dominant.
my God.
What I said in my lecture was that the Jewish identity was created by the Persian Empire in order to better control the Levant. And if you read the Bible, that's exactly what you can derive from it. If you go to my
Yeah,
lecture
now it's
on the
getting weird,
Jews, you
yeah.
will see that I use the Bible as my primary source, and then I analyze what the Bible is saying. The problem is that most people don't read the Bible.
But
Most
people who came
don't.
up with Pax Judaica are not biblical scholars. They're the modern white supremacist far right.
It's
Like, I pause it really quick. I'm sorry.
God,
If you hyperfixate on any group, you can trace it back to anything. You can say, oh, Eritrea and Ethiopia. Oh, yes, that identity was actually created by the Sabians who came in with the Damascus Orthodox. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like that's not a real thing. It's fake. It's made up. It was made to control the Horn of Africa. Like, you can quite literally do that with any group.
Yes, but I'm more wrecked by like he's like
So
Professor Zhang's just like, okay, listen, I quoted the Bible. Like, okay, so Mehdi Hasan's like, hey, are you a biblical scholar? It's like, yo, we're missing the conversation here. Like,
I didn't even hear him say that.
yes, he's. They're appealing to authorities. Both of them are
It's on the
doing
bottom
that.
of the screen.
Yeah.
Right, they're appealing to authorities, both of them, instead of like,
Yeah, they are.
what do people believe?
I get weirded out when people have like this hyperfixation, like on the like one group, and it's like, oh, this is all made
Yeah.
up. Ukraine's fake. This is made up. It's I don't know. It's kind of like everything's fucking made up. It's all a construct. Like literally, it's like your nationality, your quote unquote ethnicity, like your tribe. But like it is what it is.
I say fair enough.
It's kind of over.
I'm just wrecked by like the.
Yeah,
the,
I didn't even hear him
the
say that.
dynamic between
Go
these
ahead.
two
kind of crazy.
are just like that dynamic is like crazy to me. Sort of like they're both appealing to something, but I think it's like they just. I thought Jiang just like defined truth or something. Like, gave it like a kind of intrinsic value, but meanwhile he's ignoring like the way people behave versus like some sort of scripture somewhere. Right? There's. Hey guys, I love the Bible. Well, there's the actual question of like, well, how do you practice that?
Yeah.
What do you
he's
listen
thinking
to?
about it
What do
from
you
a
believe in?
systemic point of view, I think.
Yeah,
Or systematic point of view.
which is as
He's
as you
applying his
said.
mathematics,
Exactly.
like analytic skills to his to
Exactly.
the literary. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm peeping that. Yeah.
And Manny's like, yeah, I live there. Anyways, where's your
I
biblical
hope.
scholarship, huh? Did you study this in
Where's your
school?
theological? What seminary school did you attend? Like,
God damn it, dude.
bro.
Like I read the Bible. It's like you're not allowed to.
It's like, well, people can.
Guess not. You need a guide. Who's your Virgil? Like, who guided you through?
I swear this guy on screen, I swear he was like saying like, yo, you can like read the Bible and like think like 10 million different things from it. based on
Yeah.
like whatever your conditioning, your experience, whatever the fuck, right? But now he's like, well, I predicted this because it's in the Bible. It says this. Like, wait, that's not a good enough answer for what you just said about imagination and abstraction or big T truth, right? He kind of
It was
betrayed
created by
that.
the Persians to control the Levant. It says so right here. John. It's like, I don't know. Okay.
What do you got, Ant? Good?
Maybe he's full of
Sorry,
shit.
Ant.
Maybe he's full of shit. Hey, you gotta leave room for that, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
For the sake of moral freedom for other people, he could be full of shit. Right? Gotta leave room for that. Just saying.
Professors can be bullshitters too.
That's right.
This is America.
Well, he's in China, apparently. All right. Here we go.
What the Bible is
Whatever,
saying.
don't
But
ruin
the
it.
problem
And
is
his
that most people don't read the
Robert's foot
Bible.
The
Most
people
microphone.
who
people
came
don't.
up with Pax Judaica, not biblical scholars. They're the modern
I
white
thought of
supremacist
that,
power.
but I didn't want to say nothing.
Sorry. What
White
is wrong with the
supremacist.
term Pax Judaica?
You tell me. What does it mean?
It just means that
Modern. But
Most
people who
people
came
don't-
up with Pax Judaica are not biblical scholars. They're the modern white supremacist far right.
Sorry.
Shut it
What
up,
is
sir.
wrong with the term Pax Judaica?
You tell me. What does it mean?
It just means that there is an entity in the Middle East, Israel, that is able to dominate the Middle East, very much along the lines of Pax Americana and Pax Britannica and Pax
But you didn't say Pax
Magalica.
Israelica. You said Pax Judaica. That implies all Jews. You know the tropes about Jews running the world. I wouldn't be okay if you said Iran is dominant, Saudi Arabia is dominant, Pax Muslimica. In fact, you know that there are many
It's a feather
racists in the
in
West
Mehdi's
who do
cap.
believe that Islam and Muslims are trying to take over the world.
I'm
I
not
find that equally
anti-Semitic.
offensive.
Look what I said to
Right.
Professor
So,
Jiang. See?
so I'm using a Latin convention,
Pax
and so Latin
Britannica.
convention would be Pax Judaica. It would not be Pax Israelica.
He only
I mean,
cares
Yeah,
about
pause
one
it. Sorry.
Do you
I
know
mean,
where this
why doesn't he
concept
just
comes
take it to just say, oh no, it's from Dante's Inferno. Like Judaica is in the last circle of hell. It's the coldest part. Like, why can't you just take it? Like, there's a clear explanation for why he was using that term. That's why I'm just kind of like, is this for real? Like, it's so simple.
This is me like taking your word for it because I don't fucking know the terminology.
No,
I don't fucking
in
know.
Dante's Inferno, there's like 9 circles of hell, and the 9th circle
I know about that.
is treachery. Yeah.
But the
So-
names though, I'm a fucking bot. I'm
Yeah, it goes
sorry.
the last one is Judaica because it's Judas, betrayal of God.
And what do you think? Like he's afraid to say that what do you think?
Or maybe he's not saying that because like maybe to leave it more confusing rather than to just kind of like be clear about it. That's why I kind of want to watch his program because maybe he talks about it very clearly and Mehdi's being dishonest. I don't know.
I will be playing that after this for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm curious too. Like, okay, where are you going with this? Are you doing blame Israel for everything? Are you doing actual
I'm curious. Yeah.
idea
I just
things?
Googled it.
Fine.
Like, okay, what's all these paxes? Pax means peace.
Mhm.
And the definition of Pax Judaica is a period of peace in the Middle East
Well, it's peace through
based on
strength,
Israeli
basically.
dominance. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's
To
what
bring
Pax
peace.
Americana is: peace through strength, Monroe Doctrine. So Pax
Yeah.
anything is like peace through strength.
Well, I want to hear
So,
like his definition
I
of
didn't know
it. Honestly, I'm curious about that. But all right, back up a little bit. Here we go.
Right. So I'm using a Latin convention, and so the Latin convention would be Pax Judaica. It would not be Pax Israelica. I mean, like.
But you know where this concept comes from. It exists in far right online circles. It's
Oh
not
my
some
God,
academic
Mehdi,
term.
he's so
Where's the
good.
Talmud, huh?
Is a
Mehdi.
far right conspiracy.
Do you disavow the
No.
Talmud?
What is it then?
I think it's a very real project being carried out by the Israeli government. I just don't call it
Yes,
Pax
Mehdi, we know you
Judaica.
condemn hummus.
Right. Okay. So the difference between the Greater Israel Project and Pax Judaica is this: Greater Israel Project is what the Israelis
Especially
believe
roasted pepper
that
hummus.
Yahweh, their God, promised
Get
to
away
their
from
ancestor
me,
Abraham
demon.
in the Bible, and this
This is
extends
going
from
fucking
the
nowhere.
now to the Euphrates. And I could have just used Greater Israel Project, but I want to differentiate because I believe that Pax Judaica is not an empire run by Jews for Jews by Jews. It is an empire run by transnational capital and secret societies in order to create an AI surveillance state throughout the Middle East.
Holy 2000s.
Just to be clear, and this is speculative analysis. This is not based on facts, as you say.
I mean, pause it, Jordan.
So it is.
As far as transnational capital wanting to create an AI surveillance system, that's true, but it's so they can stay on top. There's no crazy idea here. It's just gangsters being gangsters.
I say fair enough, but there could be. I leave room for that idea.
I mean, I'm still willing to hear out his opinion. I'd like to hear it.
I mean,
like, I get what you're saying, Joe, but still, I want to hear his hypothesis.
There could be some wild ideology behind it, possibly, right? But I can't say it now. Yeah.
I've actually never listened to this guy, but now I'm interested. So, go ahead.
He is a professor.
Oh yeah. Continue with the video.
Oh my god.
There we go.
A surveillance state throughout the Middle East.
And this actually listen. Just to be clear, and this is speculative analysis. This is not based on facts, as you say.
So it is based on speculative analysis, based on history, historical patterns. It's also based on connecting the dots. Because if you just look at what Netanyahu says, if you actually just go and watch on YouTube,
full of shit. No, I know what Netanyahu says. We're in agreement on how bad Netanyahu is, how expansionist is. I'm talking about the language you use, the milieu you're in. Let me ask you this before we wrap up. What are your own politics? Where do you place yourself on the political spectrum?
Are you on the left?
On the left. So I believe that wealth redistribution is very important. I believe in freedom of speech. I am anti-war. I'm anti-empire. I believe in individual autonomy. And so, unfortunately, I used to be left, but I think
he's telling us it's like McDonald's order.
Given my politics, I believe most people would consider me right nowadays, and that's
Free
unfortunate.
Palestine, and
that is unfortunate.
The Second Amendment is really important to me. God.
What is your big prediction now for 2026? We'll see what happens. We can test it out at the end of the year.
Well, I've made 3 predictions about how this war will progress. Okay, so my first prediction is that the United States will use ground troops.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that. I'm with you.
And I believe that this ground troops will be a quagmire
5 days ago.
for the United States, and that they will have to call a national draft. Okay, that's my first prediction.
Okay.
My second prediction, and this is very important.
That was different than Mehdi right there. Mehdi agrees with ground troops, but the idea of a draft, he's not with, as far as based on what I think his body language was right there. Personal guess. Okay, fair enough. But
it's looking like that might actually go ahead, by the way. Draft.
They've been floating that around. In Obama's era, they were floating around drafts, right?
Yeah. It's very, very, I'm completely against the draft.
Yeah.
Sexist. I also don't devalue men's bodies less than women in terms of you go. You're worth less. So.
Well, I don't think majority of people would go for that at all. Period.
No, it's ridiculous.
Draft, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Say that there's not enough national morale around this stuff to where that's gonna work. Honestly,
if we're gonna start drafting people, I say send Baron, send Eric.
No, I'm sure that the kids who are in their ROTC programs in college who join the military to pay for college are very scared. Right now, and I feel very bad for them, and my heart goes out to them. So I'll say that.
Yeah, and okay, we're going through predictions, right? Again, ground troops, possibly. Okay, fair enough. Draft, not so much for me, but let's hear what else he says. Here we go.
Have to call a national draft. Okay, that's my first prediction.
Okay.
My second prediction, and this is very important, is that Israel and the United States will not use a nuclear weapon in this war. I think that
I don't know why that's some sort of crazy prediction. Okay, fair enough. U.S. and Israel will not use nuclear weapons. Okay, when's the last time they were used? When's the only time they were used in combat?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's
such a ridiculous premise to begin with.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous that it's that's the first thing. It's the people policing everybody are the only people who've ever used it.
I mean, if he said they're going to use one, I'd be like, okay, now that's oh shit prediction.
It's a bold prediction.
But to say they're not going to do it is not that crazy of a thing. I don't think.
I don't take it off the table, but I think it's a lot more likely they either get those
I'm just not
thermobaric
even in
bombs or
the.
they use the Moab.
What's even the point of predicting that? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, oh no, they're going to use cluster bombs. No, I think they're going to use these bombers. Like, I don't like. I don't know. It's like the minutia of like how they're going to fucking,
whichever
like
one of those they pick,
destroy bodies. Like, I don't know.
Whichever one of those they pick, the outcome is.
I'm just not
kind of
that interested in that personally, but I mean, I'm not saying that it's not people can't talk about that. It's just more of like.
Well, it's why are they talking about it?
Well,
it's like predicting that the sun will go up tomorrow, right? Like, okay, it probably will. It might blow up and not go up, but like, what are you like predicting there? Like, what's the whole point of it? Like, it's the most likely thing.
If our sun goes
But
supernova,
it's almost like
5 billion years
participating in
ahead of
their own
schedule, I'm expanding
it's like
my
participating in their
horizons.
emotional and like psychological terrorism. Like, I don't want to participate in that. I don't want to be a part of your like that's not where I'm at. Like, I don't live in that world.
I mean, fuck. I mean, I'll be fair here for either one of these guys because this is 5 days ago, this video. So thus, they don't know the recent developments or recent like news stories in regards to all that. But yeah, predicting no nuclear weapons as your number 2 thing is not that crazy.
Oh, cool! Thank you. Yeah.
Well, it's like trying to like find out like, okay, is he correct? Right? To be fair, right? That's kind of my point. I'm like, hey, are you correct about things? I don't know. But all right, let's hear number 3, I guess.
Okay, that's my first prediction.
Okay.
My second prediction, and this is very important, is that Israel and the United States will not use a nuclear weapon in this war. I think that the talk of nuclear weapons is fear-mongering. I don't think we will escalate to that point of nuclear weapons.
I hope you're right. I worry about nukes. I hope you're right.
And my third and most controversial prediction is that I believe that during the course of this war, somehow, some way, the Al-Aqsa Mosque will be destroyed.
Oh my God! Now I know what he's doing now.
Well, that would be a disaster.
Now I know. Now I feel like I know now.
Polymarket brain rot.
No, dude, that's fucking Revelation. That's biblical type of shit, right? Where you like blow up the fucking third temple, or whatever the fuck happens, right?
Yep.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
Which one did
Because the
say?
second time that it was blown up, it
The
was Cyrus,
Alaska
who was
Mosque.
the one who built it back up.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I misheard that as something else. I'm sorry.
No, because the second time that they rebuilt it was actually the Iranian king who rebuilt it for the Israelites. And then that got destroyed. They got rebuilt, but the third time that it's destroyed, I think that's when Yahweh and Jesus and whoever
White horse, all that fun shit.
Well, it's like their beliefs about the end times. That's the eschatology that he also brings in with his mathematics and literature and.
Now that we've heard before, watching this guy, in regards to like, oh, these guys are like hardcore believers in biblical prophecy, so thus they'll actually do things to like make it happen.
To manifest it. Yeah.
Like maybe as like a PR move, but these guys don't actually believe that shit, in my humble opinion. I don't think they actually believe that shit.
No, I don't think so. It's like the same thing with the whole Trump thing. I'm like kind of tired of they keep saying the word like, oh, he's sundowning or something. Like he's experiencing dementia symptoms. Like they call it sundowning. I saw it on Instagram all over. Like, oh, this is sundowning. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not letting him get away with that. Huh? It's like the whole Biden thing. It's a lie. The man was on a bike. I'm done. I'm done with all these fakers. I'm done. I'm fucking done.
I actually bookmarked on Twitter someone's like doing like a compilation of Joe Biden out of office. It's like, yo, he's as coherent as ever. Sounding like, yo, what is that? Annoying. Was this fucking asshole like correct? Was subs correct the entire time? Like this fool's out here.
I am, because who falls going up the stairs? To me, that was like the tell. And then he's on a bike the next week. They're like, oh, he fell off the bike. It's like, wow, how was he on a bike? On a trail?
I'm telling you,
And Henlopen State Park, my
He
trail.
wasn't even
Yeah, I was
speaking
about to
anymore.
say, I was about to say, you told me once that you ended up going on that
It's
trail.
my Delaware trail. Anyway, the point is,
That's how
he's
you're
not even
supposed
really
to
from Delaware. He's from Pennsylvania. But regardless, whatever. I'm over Joe Biden.
I saw
He's
this
a liar.
full.
He doesn't have dementia.
I saw this
Yeah.
full in a compilation
The
of
guy
like
fit as
selfie
a
videos,
fucking-
just like chilling.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, wait."
He's fine. Do you see him? He's in shape. The man is in shape. Anyway.
He's living
Go
his
ahead.
best life right now, bro.
He is.
Like, fuck
He's living
off,
his life
Joe.
like it's golden in these streets.
How dare you, bro?
Yeah.
But
Wait,
all right.
what? What did I do?
No, Joe Biden. I'm sorry.
Oh,
He's out there, bro, doing selfie
Fucker.
pictures.
You
Sounding
did
like
that on
coherent
purpose.
He's
as
out there acting
fuck.
crazy.
His hairy legs.
I did not. It is what it is. Anyways. All right, here we go. The last seconds, I guess.
Somehow, some way, the Al-Aqsa Mosque will be destroyed.
Wow.
That is
yeah.
prophecy, biblical shit.
Well, that would be a disaster. God forbid.
Yeah, whatever,
We will
Mehdi.
have to leave it there on that rather dark
Okay.
prediction.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to go. Even though it's your show and you decide how long things get to be because you're the boss, you own the whole thing. But sure. Yeah, we got to go. According to who?
Well,
Anyway.
I'll say this.
Whatever.
Professor Jiang, when it comes to PR, survived this one. He survived.
Yeah, he does.
If he's full of shit, he survived. If he's legit, Mehdi fucked up. I'll say that. But I don't know yet. I'm curious to look into
Well, Mehdi
more.
was doing the gotcha thing, and he was
Yeah.
too smooth for the. I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm a useful idiot. I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to get to the truth, which is different from facts. And then he went to the, delineate that. And it was just, so he kind of like weaved his way through. And Mehdi was just like, oh, do you hear yourself? What do you mean?
Mehdi, are you
hate
okay? Are you
Like-
okay? Are you okay, Mehdi?
Literally.
Got hit by, got struck by a smooth criminal.
Anyways, I
tried.
hope Professor Jiang is legit as like intention wise, not information, not credibility in regards to information. Just I hope character wise he means
He
well.
means
He's
what
just doing
he
it.
means the shit that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, I
hope
hope
so,
so. It's just I have not seen enough to say to deem him as like, okay, I think this guy's for real. I don't have that personally. Like I had that with David Icke personally. I know David Icke gets like a lot of shit, right, for saying like certain things, but I'm like, yeah, I think this guy like means this. I'm there with him. This guy, I'm not there yet, but I hope he does mean well. Mehdi Hasan just proving he's full of shit to me.
He sucks. He's, he just, whatever. That was awful.
Well, we're going to watch more Professor Jiang after this, but first, do not forget to share support. Hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please join the Discord if you feel like. We're in a Discord right now, so please do that. And everything I showed you will be linked in that same description box. Also, please leave a comment. What do you think, guys, about Jiang or Mehdi or any of it? The conversation, the quotes. I know we pause a lot, we pause the video a lot, but I think it's worthy because I think we're better than both of these guys are. Humbly. I said it very humbly, but I think it's the case.
Shout out to Ram Ranch. Shout out to the Ram Ranchers out there ranching the streets.
Do not summon him.
Don't
do it.
Don't you promote that fucking demon, okay?
You motherfucker.
He's running my entire comment section. there.
Jason Ellis is a bitch. Jason Ellis is a bitch.
Anyways.
Shout out to the Ram Ranch.
Ram Ranch for life.
Don't do it.
Hashtag Ram Ranch.
You'll be sorry.
For life.
Oh my god.
Life
Anyways.
with a Y.
Anyways.
Ram Ranch. Yeah, go Google
Don't
it.
add in Jesse. Like, leave it alone. Let him. Okay? We're onward. Most importantly, give this video a thumbs down. Joe, meow. Meow, please.
Who's up there? Was that Joe?
Joe.